going on, everyone? It is episode 107, recorded on Sunday, August 28th, 2022. I'm Drew, and hey, John, what does the sign on an out-of-business brothel say? Beat it. We're closed.
After a long day at work, it's time to relax and tuck in with the Dads After Dark show with your hosts, Drew and John.
What's going on, Dan? On tonight's show, Treehouse is back. Is the price of video gaming going up? And lastly, Gamescom and all the games that we want to talk about on tonight's episode. John, buddy, how have you been? I've been away for quite some time, so I haven't really been talking to you. What's new in the world?
I have missed you a lot. We were chatting, missed you a lot. You went on a cruise, you son of a bitch, and you were completely incommunicado. We couldn't share memes or anything, and now you're back. It felt like a piece of me was gone, but I am watching you on the camera, and I am very worried for your health and safety right now, and I hope you can make it through.
Well, like all risk of going on vacation nowadays, I got COVID. It's a risk you're taking anytime you go anywhere nowadays. And it sucks. I'm here though. I got 100-degree fever right now, and I'm chugging along. So my voice is going to be a little raspy. We'll get through it. We're going to have a fun time though. Yeah. And you're for your first timer club. This is my first time I've ever had COVID. Yep.
Wow. Wow. You don't look great, but you're hanging in, right? You're not like on a ventilator or anything like that. So that's good.
No, it comes and goes. It spikes.
Yeah, and we're actually recording early. This is it is 12:30 p.m. where I am right now. This is the earliest we've ever recorded because we knew you would feel like garbage later.
You know how it is when you're sick in general. It's like the mornings and night times are the worst.
I used to think it was because when you sleep, all the phlegm just comes up into your sinuses, but really, no, you just start feeling bad for some reason.
Yeah,
That's weird. That's weird. So how was your vacation, though?
It was a blast. So, we went to Universal Studios for 4 nights before our cruise. Wow. What a fun time. Universal, I haven't been there in forever. All the Harry Potter stuff, fantastic. All the new rides. My daughter's a freak. She goes on any roller coaster she can, as much as she is willing to go on it. We went on the new Velocicoaster. She went on it 3 times. Just what an absolute blast that was. And then the cruise. Then we went on a Disney cruise. The first time they went on one. The cool part about Disney cruises are, and I think all cruises have them, they have the kids club where you can drop the kids off. My daughter wanted to go to the kids club every day until 11 p.m. So it was
that's the drop off. That's the fun. Right.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. I mean, we would do some stuff in the morning, then we'd drop her off early afternoon, then pick her up and go to dinner and stuff. And then they would drop them back off. She would leave after dinner and stay till 11. Disney does a really good job at pairing you up with another family that's close to you for dinner. So you eat with the same family every night at dinner. It was a nice family from Baltimore. They had a 6-year-old daughter and an 8-year-old boy. And so the 2 girls took off and they went to kids club every day together. They had a blast. So it was fun. So me, my wife, and my son did a lot of stuff together on the cruise. Let me tell you, John, have you ever been to a silent dance party?
Oh, I forgot about this. No, I need details on this one.
So a silent dance party, if you've never heard of one, it's like a nightclub. There's a DJ, everything. But there's no music. And
so what's the DJ doing?
They hand out these really nice wireless headphones. In fact, I don't even have my headphones on, so I'm going to keep talking while I put my headphones on. And what you do is you get these wireless headphones, and they light up, and you can change it to 3 different songs. And they change color when you change the song. And you can listen to that song. They're DJing it to the headphones. But it's great. You take it back off, and it's silent. but you see people dancing. You see some people singing out loud.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and my son had the time of his life. Let me tell you, I was ripping so many loud farts, and I was like, nobody could hear him. Just like, it was great because they had headphones on. They couldn't hear me.
Yeah, but people take off their. You just said people take off their headphones.
Well,
then they're like, "Oh, put the headphones back on. Put them on."
So that was a fantastic time. So many fun activities that we did on the cruise, including their private island. Disney private island had a kids club on the island that my daughter wanted to go to. She just wanted to get away from us nonstop.
There's so much to do there. But how long were you on the island for?
You could stay from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We didn't stay the whole time. I think we got on there around like 9:30. Then I came back on the boat around like 2.
Okay. Wow.
But here's what happened was Evan wasn't a fan. He didn't want to stay. So him and Amy went back to the boat at like noon. And then Zoe's like, I want to go to the kids club. I was like, well, what about me? She's like, I don't know, not my problem. So I was literally on the private island by myself. Wow. So what I do, I found a bar like in the middle of the ocean. It was like you had to walk around a long dock, and there was just like a bar out there. John, I consumed a lot of alcohol on this trip. Have you ever drank so much of one alcoholic drink that when you piss, it smells like that drink?
I mean, clearly no, based on my answer of most drinks at a sitting. I don't drink that much. I usually have like a drink, maybe a second, and that's really it. I'm not into that. So what color are we talking here?
Well, what happened was I was drinking tons and tons of beer because I bought the beer mug. It's like you get all the free. It was great. What happened was the first night I like shit my brains out like no tomorrow, like diarrhea explosion. So I was like, all right, I gotta settle down. Let me go with the hard liquor tomorrow. I think that'll be better. So
yeah. You want to throttle it down a little bit.
The beer was too heavy. So the next day, I went with whatever the drink of the day was. They called it like a sunken treasure. So I probably had about 5 or 6 of those.
It sounds like you had a sunken treasure.
But like that night, I remember like I went to go take a piss before bed, and like I just smelled the rum. I feel like coming out of my piss.
Oh my God. Are you okay?
I'm not sure.
So let's summarize so far.
Yes.
Your daughter did not want to spend time with you and left you alone on an island.
Pretty much.
You drank yourself nearly to complete shits and death. And you got COVID. Sounds fun.
And to bring up the chubby bracket, out of all of this,
oh God,
ate like shit, drank a ton. What do you think the total weight gain was?
I don't know. It's tricky. I didn't gain a lot from Disney. I will say at most like 5 pounds.
That's what I was thinking. John, I lost 1 pound.
You found the secret new diet.
So I had my Apple Watch on the whole time. How many miles do you think I walked in these 8 days?
I think you told me it was like 70.
It was 60 miles we walked.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Crazy. Well, yeah, it was a blast. I'd do it again. Fuck COVID, but it was.
How many days were you on the cruise? You said
4 nights. So we did 4 nights Universal, 4-night cruise.
Four in Universal is a lot. I only went to Universal one time in my life. It was the one in Cali, so I don't think it's as big. And I stayed for a day, and I can't imagine spending more than a day.
Cali's small, so this has 2 parts, and it has the city walk. So the first day we got there, we got there real early. We didn't go to any of the parts. We just went. We had lunch and dinner. We went mini golfing. We kind of relaxed, went shopping, went in the pool. And then I think one day we went to one park. The next day we went to like half of a park, and then we like went swimming for half a day, and then the last day we went to the other park. So it really wasn't that bad. We went like all our favorite rides again twice, so it was good.
Yeah, cool. Sounds fun.
Absolute blast. We're gonna probably book another cruise for next year.
Do it again.
Get COVID again.
Yeah, but you got the antibodies now, right?
You would hope so. I mean, it's funny. They so Disney Cruises make you test. So we had to do a test while we were at Universal to make sure we didn't have COVID in order to get onto the boat. So we did that. So we obviously got it on the cruise.
Right.
But
do you have to do like a PCR test, or they just give you a quick test?
No, we did it ourselves. We FaceTimed somebody, and then they uploaded the information to Disney's website for us.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, because you probably somebody was getting it or whatever,
Yeah.
Hit the lotto. I had a fun adventure this week. This was Thursday. I went to a dermatologist for the second time in my life.
Oh dear.
And I've told you in the past, I've had this like red bump on my nose for like years, and you can actually see an even redder bit right now.
It's
and but yeah, it's like one of those things, like you ever get acne and it just like never goes away. So I just got like this red bump on my nose years ago. I can probably track it down to the month if I look at like my iPhone pictures. And it just kind of never went away. And it bugs me. Like it's just like it's annoying. It's like you're Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, right? It's like right on your nose. So I a couple months ago, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go see a dermatologist, see if they can do something about it. If not, no big deal. If they laugh at me, no big deal. At least you go, check it out. And it was an interesting experience. Because when you go to a dermatologist, the first thing I think of is Botox, right? Like I was like, I'm going to go to this dermatologist. There's going to be a lot of women there, and they're all going to be there for Botox and whatever. And I walked in, and there's a sign on the receptions table, and it's like talking about Botox. I was like, yep, okay, that's what's happening. But anyway, I go talk to the doctor, and in my mind, it's just like, hey, I've got this bump. Can you do something? And they're like, okay. And they do a little poke and pull out some blood or whatever. And then it's like, on your way, And he looks at it for like seemingly like 3 seconds. And he gives me some options about removing it. And there's like these 2 options. And one of them is, it's like scar tissue or whatever. And we can like shave the top of it off, which was just not the wording I was looking for, I guess. And, it could come back. But, we could just, keep treating it, whatever. The second one, I'm not even sure what that option was. I don't know if it was a freezing thing or what, but it was like way more serious and whatever and weird side effects or whatever. So basically it was down to, should I have this person shave it or just live with it? And it's a tough decision because it's just me in a room. My wife's not there. I don't have any like, I don't have a lawyer with me or whatever. And it's like, and they said, you can go home and think about it and come back. They're basically like, we won't charge you again. Just come back and we'll do it.
They wanted to shave it right then and there.
Well, I said, well, how long does it take? Like, if I come back for it. And he says, about 20 seconds. Just like, and I'm like, okay, so I can either do this now and have it done within the minute, or I can think about it and then make another trip
and you'll probably
and then
never
wait
come
around.
Back.
Yes. And then for a 20-second thing. And I was scared because I'm like, what if I make this worse? Right?
Yeah, what if I wrong decision? That's always the fear. What if I make the wrong decision?
Exactly. This is as front of my face as possible. It's like the end of my nose. And I'm just sitting there thinking about it. And I'm like, I don't think he would even offer it if he thought this was terrible. So I just said, okay, let's do it. And so he did it. It didn't hurt that much. It was scary, but like it was fine, I guess. And so I've been watching my nose recovery over the last 3-4 days or whatever. And like every time I look at it, I'm like, when I first looked at it, it looked like a hole in my nose. I was like, oh my God, what have I done? This is worse. And now it's starting, you're seeing the little scar and whatever. So every day I'm like, all right, if this is permanent, like how would I feel about it? It's just been back and forth so far. So it's been a tough week, like trying to decide if I made the right decision or not. It's pretty stressful. I don't know how people get plastic surgery. I would be terrified.
Do you think it's gone? Like, do you think it's just in the healing process now?
Right now it looks like a scar. You can like, I mean, it looks, I'm looking at my camera and it looks redder than it did before, but it's because it's still healing.
But did he say like the goal is eventually it will never look like you even had it, or he said it'll always be something?
Like I said, be like maybe a little dot or something like that. I mean, in his mind, he has to think it's going to end up looking better. At least I'm hoping that's what he was thinking too.
Yeah.
Like he's not going to be like, oh, I know I'm going to do this and it's going to be way worse or whatever. And I'm like, maybe I'll look down the road and be like, complete new nose job. I got to fix my whole nose now. But it's terrifying. I appreciate. I mean, I don't know if appreciate's the word, but I respect people who get cosmetic surgery or something because you just don't know what you're going to look like on the other end of that procedure. It's nerve-wracking unless you have something really bad and you know that whatever you do, it will be better. But if you have something very small, like people who get nose jobs or whatever, it's like, how do you know what you're going to look like at the end? It's kind of terrifying.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I couldn't do it, but I'll get Botox maybe sometime and we'll see. We should get Botox together and make a whole episode.
That'd be interesting. I'm not into that.
Would be fascinating. If you got Botox and didn't tell Amy, do you think she would notice?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
You can get a lip injection.
I don't like needles.
Me neither. Me neither. Getting the COVID vaccine was rough, right?
It was stressful.
It was very stressful.
It's the leading up to it was stressful.
Yes.
It's like a kid. It's like kids. Leading up to the shot is the stressful part. The actual shot is painless.
It was rather painless.
But it's the anticipation of, oh my God, they're going to stick me with a needle.
Yeah, my first shot was like drive-through, and I was just like, I'm not looking or whatever, and then it was fine. But I still get nervous around it. You know what's not stressful, Drew?
What's that?
Shaving your balls.
Shaving your balls can and cannot be. It's not stressful if you use Manscaped. John, why don't you give this one a go this week?
I just put a chocolate-covered strawberry in my mouth because you were going to read it.
Well,
I mean, I can read it.
Let Sadie do it. I'm trying to save my voice for the good stuff.
All right, Sadie, let's hear it.
Summer is coming. The sun is shining. Shirts are off. And your balls are smooth. You heard that right. Your friends at Manscaped are here to make sure your beach balls are as smooth as Floridian sand. In summer, you want to kill some cold beers and barbecues. Not kill the vibe with pubes peeking out your swim trunks. That's why Manscaped has their Performance Package 4.0 to keep the party in your pants looking crisp and refreshing all summer long. Dive headfirst into summer by joining the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and get ready for hot guy summer by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the code NINDADS. That's NINDADS. And now, back to the show. It's time to look at the bounty board.
All right, our two favorite bounties are still on the board. Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga. There are some rumors we might be close to the end of this one. 1,166 Kyber bricks. If you haven't heard last episode, $100 bounty. Now, we're not funding that one. That's coming from the Nintendo dads. They want to see this one squashed. And frankly, so do I. So if you have done this...
I love it.
If you have done this, report it. Get yourself $100. $100 is a lot of money in video game money.
Yeah.
Crazy. The other bounty, this will be the last time we talk about it. Get your name in Nintendo Force. That's for this month. Let me look at my calendar. Today is August 28th. Nintendo Force, it's already in print, so this is not something you can attempt to do anymore. But in the next 4 to 7 days, Nintendo Force should be showing up in everybody's house. And we'll see who got in there. And you'll get a $5 eShop card if you got your name in the magazine. So that should be fun. In the last week, actually, while you were gone, I think on the cruise,
giving money away.
We gave away, not money, we gave away a copy of Cult of the Lamb for Nintendo Switch. And it was just a one-day contest like we like to do. And the winner was Kiba Wolf on Twitter. And so Kiba Wolf won a game code for Cult of the Lamb. Very awesome. And yeah, this has been a hot game. A lot of people have talked about it. I'm hearing lots of things about it. And I guess I can say right now, I was really excited to play it. and then hearing that the Switch version had more bugs and that a lot of people are having some bugs with this game, I think it's a good time to wait for patches. I'm just gonna. So I will definitely play this game. I got to make Hambone Johnny happy. I would hate to disappoint Hambone.
He was a big fan.
But I'm probably gonna wait a few months on this one. I want to see this game get patched up. I don't know if you've ever done this, but you play a game when it comes out, it's got bugs, and then you finish it, and then they fix the bugs, and now you're like, but you're done with the game, and you don't get to enjoy the game without the bugs. I'm looking at you, Life is Strange Remastered.
We'll never let that go.
So, but yeah, and then we'll have another giveaway coming up week and a half or so.
Maybe
for a squiddy little game. So keep ready for that one.
Can I win that one?
No, you can't win that one.
Not eligible. Okay.
Not eligible.
Double check.
All right, Dads After Dark Strikers Club. Do you want to talk about this one? Let's hear all the great news about the Dads After Dark Striker Club from the club owner himself. Andrew DeFuscio.
Excuse me?
DeFusco.
Man, what a shame. I love this game. I truly do. I obviously have not logged on in 10 days to be peeing away. But I don't think many
I thought you
people
said
have.
Peeing away. You said being away? I swore you said I was peeing away because that was accurate.
I was pissing the night away, as Chumbawamba would say. But no, I don't want to call it dead because it's a game that we can just stay there, and if we want to come back and say, hey guys, let's all try to play this season, and try to win this weekend, we can do that, especially when new updates come. But I will say, don't feel pressured to be logging in every season to be playing because it's hard. We just don't have a lot of people. Or if you have other people that maybe we can consolidate it and go from there. But unfortunately, I think the Strikers Club is on its slow death. But we're not going to disband it or delete it because honestly, there's no point in doing that.
No point.
But do not feel pressured into playing.
And there could be an update or some exciting reason. Not that we have to convince people, but some convincing reason to say, "Oh, I want to jump back into it just naturally." So the club's going to stay around. But no one's really playing it this season. We'll see how it goes. I was going to log in today. I still might, but
I still want to get that top tier Mushroom Hills. We were close, kind of. So
yeah, if I log in later and I just lose a bunch of matches, that I'll probably go back into hibernation on it. I'll tell you that much.
Naturally, Monthly Mayhem. I can't do the long Monthly Mayhem. That's all I got.
Can I do it? Can I do it for you?
Yeah, let's see it. Let's hear it.
Monthly Mayhem.
Not bad.
Not good.
Bad. My voice would have cracked like 5 times. Mario Kart update. John, thank you for holding up the fort. I knew how hard it was for John having to use a Microsoft software to do his updates. He had to convert it into his Apple's equivalent and back
numbers,
to
baby.
I knew that hurt on the inside, and I appreciate it.
How come you didn't do it in Google Docs? You just prefer Excel from like work or something?
It's just easy for me to do it in Excel, and I can put formulas into it, and I know how to do it easy in Twitch.
Formulae. Was it formulae? Formulae.
Formulas?
Formulae.
Anyways, we're on our last track, Sydney Sprint. I haven't even tried this one yet. I gotta get Mom get on that. Ends Thursday, September 1st, which then we will be entering the head-to-head knockout bracket. Top 8 people will make it, so look forward to that. That'll be fun. Get some life back into the game a little bit. But yeah, as always, remember $15 to the winner and then $10 to anyone that submitted any time trial. So it's not too late. You could still possibly win $10 for just playing Sydney Sprint.
Yeah, give it a go. I missed the third one. As you'll see, I just got busy with so many games, but I'm not out of it. I want to try Sydney Sprint, and then I want to go back and try the Sunday one too. I've only played 2 tracks on Mario Kart Wave 2. I need to play.
Why?
Why what?
Why didn't you play them all?
You know what it is when you're in the middle of a damn fight in Xenoblade, and you're like, oh, you want to play this game, and you're like, I'm in the middle of an area. I'm not near a campground.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like it. Or that's really been it. I haven't been able to just pick up my Switch and just play it.
Believe me, I know all about that.
I'll catch up. Yeah.
All right, that's fair. I think that's it for all the bounties and everything else.
Cool. Cleaning it up. Hey, next episode, we're gonna have very little. It's gonna be kind of nice. We keep busy with this stuff, man. We need a break. I need a cruise. All right, let's look at the meat.
The meat.
It's time for the meat.
Drew, I know you were away, but there was a Splatoon Treehouse, August 25th. You were cruising at the time.
I was.
It's been a while since we've seen a Treehouse. Some people thought we might get a Direct, but we did not. We got a Treehouse, and they demoed Splatoon 3 and, oddly, Harvestella. You haven't caught up with this one, have you?
No, I have not. But let me ask your opinion on this before we even get into the actual games of it. How was the production value? How was the hosting? How was it from an overall point of view? Were you satisfied with it? Did you feel underwhelmed?
Yeah, underwhelmed.
Really?
I have a few problems with the direction of the Treehouse. I've got a few problems in the PR direction, and this is a topic Kate and Krista actually talked about recently. Nintendo is, for a while, doing very well connecting with people. They had their Kit and Krista, they had their Reggie, Bill Trinan, Shigeru, all these. Lately, I mean, Kit and Krista are gone now. I haven't seen Bill Trinan in a while. It's very odd to me how they're just not connecting with the fans right now. And it really showed in the Treehouse. First of all, there's 3 people in the Treehouse. And they had them on separate cameras. They didn't have them sitting together. Clearly, it was a COVID thing. I don't know why at this point they're still doing that, except to just be a good example of it. But I guarantee you, in between takes, the 3 of them are just sitting there talking to each other, shaking hands and all that jazz. So it's probably just an on-camera thing. So they had these 3 separate boxes, but they were next to each other. In fact, they would stretch and share the controller. Again, if you're sharing the controller at this point, they would stretch over and share the controller. That's how far apart they were. That sort of reach.
That's odd, though.
I didn't recognize any of the Treehouse people. One dude was wearing a suit. He's playing Splatoon 3 and he's wearing a suit. I did not understand that at all. The other dude had sunglasses on. I don't know. It was weird. I didn't recognize anybody. Sam is gone. She was always one of my favorites. A lot of previous favorites were gone. Other Sam, I don't think, was there. I don't know. It really feels like, I don't know if these people are from different offices because they closed down the other one. It just doesn't feel the same as it used to. Let's get these people on a couch. Let's make it more fun. The Harvestella one was a little bit more fun. But for Splatoon 3, they demoed character creation and they demoed a lot of the campaign and then the turf war. It was fun. I didn't watch all of it because I just don't want too much spoilers. I want that stuff to be new when I play.
Yeah.
But I did keep an eye on it. Looks great. Lots of new things. And then I also had watched Cedric play yesterday during the Splatfest.
Okay.
And lots of a lot of the little things translate well into the new game. Even just when the matches start and stop, they're on these little boxes instead of just sort of appearing near your base. And goddamn you, Dylan! Now, fucking Dylan! When I talk about games that he plays, I swear to God, I'm thinking I'm saying something wrong and he's gonna call in.
Do it, Dylan. Call in. Why is John wrong?
But in Splatoon 2, you would kind of start at your base. Now you sort of jump in off these boxes and you can kind of move around and kind of launch into different areas. And the end of the matches is really cool because they will show the winning team. They highlight the winning team. I think before they would show your losing team, but they'll show the winning team and it's one at a time. So they show the first person and they do their little move, which I think you can customize in the real game. And then the next person. I'm not sure if there's an order based on how well you did. I hope there is. It's just really cool. But I mean, it's a subtle, small thing. The game felt like Splatoon. The only big difference is the 3-way splashing, which I actually didn't see yesterday. But it's just a polished version of Splatoon, but it looks great. I can't wait to play it. So that's fun. And that's kind of what they showed. They actually, on the Treehouse, also talked about the game as if you've never played it before. So they're very simple. They were showing the new weapons and all that, but they were explaining it to people as if nobody had played before, which made it a little slow too. But
how long was it? A few hours, probably.
I think it was like 45 minutes for the Splatoon
that's
stuff.
It?
Yeah. The bow and arrow weapon is really cool looking because I didn't realize if you hold it back and let it charge and then fire it hits against the wall. Like if you just fire it, it's like 3 shots. But if you hold it, it'll hit against the wall and it's like a little bomb. And then it goes like a small blast, which was really cool for the 1-player campaign mode where there was some boxes you had to undo. But it's fun. You could just shoot it around and just get little splashes all over the place. It's definitely like it's like the sniper rifle. You're not, it's not to win a turf war. It's just to shoot to kill. But it looks like it's way more fun than the sniper rifle. So I'm going to try it. I'm going to try to like main that for a little bit. I'm not good at shooters, but I'm going to try to be. So we'll see. That was fun.
Okay.
And then they showed Harvestella, which is a game that, I don't know, seemed okay. The more I watched it on Treehouse, the more intrigued I was. It actually showed very well. It's very polished looking. It's like a farm simulator and an RPG. I don't know how they connect, but you farm, you fight, you farm, and you fight. And it's really smooth. I love the way you water the crops because in these farming simulators, like especially like Stardew Valley, which I'm not a huge fan of because I'm not a huge fan of these kinds of games. But, you know, you go to all of your crops and you water and you water and you water. This one, you have this water wand thing. I love the name of it, by the way. You'd have really laughed. A water wand thing. And you just kind of walk around and spread water. It's just much more polished and smooth. The fighting seems smooth. It just seemed like a good presentation. Square Enix has not been my favorite RPG maker of late. I feel like they kind of fall short in everything they do now. But it looked really good. I don't know if I'll try it, but I might. I could see myself playing that or trying it. But it looked good. You should check that out. You might, maybe you might actually like it too. Or maybe Amy would. But it did show pretty well.
Now, is this published by Nintendo or is it everything developed by Nintendo?
Published by Square Enix.
Okay. I'm sorry. You said that.
Yeah. I said that. Pay attention. No.
I'm foggy.
And that's why I wasn't sure why it was in the Treehouse. Treehouse has often showed third-party games. It was weird that it was like Splatoon 3 and Harvestella. But Harvestella, I think, comes out early November. So it might have been just a time thing. I mean, they could have showed some Bayonetta. They could have showed some Mario and Rabbids, but they showed Harvestella.
Interesting. Well, they wanted to show something that wouldn't be like better than Splatoon.
I guess so. Yeah. 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 So, I mean, yeah, they both look good. That's all I can say. Big story coming out. The PS5 is going up in price. This was announced a few days ago. It's something unusual that we see. So it's going up in a lot of different markets. So far, it has not gone up in the United States market. It's at $500 right now for the disc model and $400 for the digital. But it's going up, like, as an example, $20 in Canada. So it is now, I think it was at $530 and now it's at $550 in Canada. So $530 to $550. So it's about a $20 increase in Canada. And in a bunch of areas, I'm not going to go through, I don't know how much it is, but you can see it's about a $20 price raise. And we've never seen that before, Drew. Like, we grew up with systems that come out,
you're right.
And then at some point they go down in price, so they go on sale. I mean, this is a system that's out for almost 2 years now. We're getting close to the 2-year mark, and it is now $20 more due to a variety of factors. What do you think about this? Do you think Sony, what do you think about Sony raising the price? Should they have just eaten some of the costs? What do you think's causing it? What do you think?
It's tough to see. I mean, we don't know the inner works of how much money they're making off of these systems, right? And there's always the rumors they don't make anything off the hardware and all that garbage. But I mean, it is what it is. I hate to always use it's a business card, but it is, right? And if they gotta increase it because of transportation costs are up and I mean, I have to assume they're still making them, right? It's not like they have a warehouse of these things either, right? So they just decided to increase the cost. They're still making these things, right? So if the cost to make them went up, I mean, it is what it is. It's hard to say, you know? That's all. I mean, I'm pretty neutral about it. I don't agree or disagree. It's just, got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, it's tough because we kind of think about, you know, companies like Sony and whatever, these huge companies, and they can afford to take huge losses and that sort of thing.
Well,
I get the feeling that the price increase doesn't match, you know, the cost of goods, circuit boards, inflation, that sort of thing in all these various markets. And I've been of the mind for a while now that Microsoft takes, you know, a big loss on services like Game Pass. And they'll take a loss on anything because they're trying to catch up in the race, right? Xbox has been running third place by a lot for many, many years behind Sony, basically ever since the end of the 360 era, maybe before that. But Nintendo and Sony have kind of run laps here on Xbox. So Xbox willing to take a loss on their services, on anything they need to do. And so I wonder if a company like Xbox would also be, you know, making the same sort of price increase, but have just decided to just eat it because they are a $2 trillion company. And Sony is like $100 billion company. It is, if you do the math on the market caps, they're talking a 20x difference between the two. That's a lot. And also, we have seen somewhat that Nintendo raised the price on their console because the OLED model, which now does seem to be what the new models are, right? We got the Splatoon model coming out, the standard model, and that's a $350 price. Now you're getting an OLED, you're getting a kickstand and all that, but like, but you're also that the system should be cheaper. The original system should be cheaper. So do they sort of wrap their price increase into the OLED model so it doesn't feel like a price increase? Maybe.
Possibly. Could be smart marketing, right?
Yeah. I mean, a Switch now is $350. It's just that it's different. Maybe PlayStation should have like made a little change or something and then just raised the price.
Years, I'm sure they found a way to make the cost of a Switch in general cheaper.
Far cheaper.
Do you know what I'm saying? So like you said, though they increased it, all of the things that you just mentioned that they added to the OLED, it still is insignificant, right? It's like you said, to the consumer, it seems like, man, what a great deal, only $50 more. But meanwhile, Nintendo's just laughing at you.
Correct.
And, you know what I mean?
Like the extra $50, they probably saved $50 in production costs. They probably could have just eaten it and made a better model.
And still been saving money because they improved the process of building.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
But it's still, so
honestly, I mean, from a personal point of view, I already have a PlayStation. It doesn't affect me at all. It's going to affect people who have been trying to get a PlayStation that haven't been able to. But still, it doesn't affect me too much. $20 is like, is that really something that's going to make somebody super, super angry? I mean, I get it. You're like, well, it was $500. I haven't bought it yet. Now it's $520. Oh, I'm mad. And sure. But Sony has to make a business decision. I'm sure it didn't come lightly. I'm sure it came with lots of arguments about why are we doing this. I'm sure they'd like to have raised it by $50 and just decided to compromise on $20. They'll still all sell out. I don't really know what to do. Maybe the price will come down later. If it's an inflation thing, maybe bringing it down will be like, hey, look, it's a price discount and it's back to the price it was.
Yeah.
I think Sony can do this. They're the only ones that probably can get away with it.
This should also be a Canadian specific thing, right? You said it hasn't come to the States yet.
Not the States, but the other countries all have also gotten price increases. So it's not just Canada. Canada is, I think, the one that's the most interesting to us since it's not been here.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's related. Like inflation has slowed down here, and maybe Sony just decided, look, we haven't done it before. We're not going to do it now. I don't know what it is, but obviously, prices of gas, prices of chips, everything's kind of gone up. So we'll see. And maybe they'll bring it back down. Who knows? We're out of driving season. I don't know if Canada has a driving season. I assume they have the same summer driving season we do. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, and I should mention the Oculus raised their price by $100. Or they're about to, right? I think that was planned for September. So this is becoming a thing, I think. We'll see. Of course, it makes their price increase look a little silly. Sure. Gamescom. Everybody's favorite Gamescom? I don't know. I always hear the name Gamescom and I never recognize that this is like a European convention. It's for all the systems, whatever. But we got a whole bunch of game announcements and release date updates and that sort of thing. And we should just go through some of these. I think we picked out some of our favorites that we wanted to talk about. We will start off with Return to Monkey Island getting a new trailer and a release date of September 18th, which is only a few weeks away. I know you're hyped about this. What did you think about this one?
I'm hyped to my wife. This was one of those games my wife played every one growing up. I mean, the trailer was fantastic. The character guy, just like the wavy arms, just nonstop. It looks fun. I mean, this is a puzzle type adventure game. I mean, it used to be kind of a point and click game, so I'm sure I don't think I've ever played it on a console before. Really, I'm trying to think if it was ever.
Yeah, these were always PC games.
So I'll be interested to see if they kind of change the mechanic of the game. I'm sure they have, right? But look at like what Thimbleweed Park and stuff like that. I mean, that's my guess. It's going to be a similar type like that.
I was gonna say Thimbleweed Park is a good example. I played through Thimbleweed Park with controls, and there's times when you're moving the mouse around and it feels like it takes a little while because you're going from the right edge to the left edge.
Yeah.
But overall, I still enjoy playing the game on my Switch. I could have bought it on a different console or on my iPad or whatever, but I wanted to play my Switch. And you know what? Switch. It was fine. It was fine.
Yeah.
Some games I will say. Go ahead.
No, I wouldn't be shocked if it's no longer a point and click game.
I'm trying to look and see. Do we not know? It's got to be. I'm just watching the guy with his hands. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
That trailer didn't tell you.
So Leisure Suit Larry, I did a review of that like last year, I think.
Yep.
And one of the things they really did well is you can use the trigger keys on the top to sort of move your mouse to the next item on the screen that you can interact with. So I don't know if they'll do that. It ruins one thing, which is that sense of discovery of like, what can I interact with? You can just press the buttons and you'll find it. But it does make it easy to just sort of like move around the screen and interact with things. So maybe they'll do that. It looks great. Honestly, I'm not going to play it just because I haven't played the other games and I'm just not in the mood. I am absolutely sure you can play this without having played any of the other games.
Yeah,
they're not going to require that at all.
Agreed. It's diving into the lore, though, right? If you're not familiar with it, you got to learn the whole lore of the world and stuff like that. It's a little, and it's a unique humor. It's all of that. It's fun.
Yeah. Yep. Cool. Next one on the list: Killer Clowns from Outer Space is announced early 2023. I asked you pre-show what you thought of it. You were not aware this was a movie.
No, I missed out on that one. Now this is non-Nintendo, right?
Non-Nintendo. And it looks like it's from.
So I'm still intrigued on what the type of gameplay is. I'm familiar with Friday the 13th, right? So is it kind of the similar concept where you get dropped into this online gameplay and you're either going to be a killer clown or average Joe?
Yeah, I love that the kid has a Commodore in the beginning of it. Yeah. It's multiplayer. What do they call it? Multiplayer horror. It's going to be that sort of thing. You're going to some people will be clowns maybe versus people, but that's what they're going for. They really hype up. It's from the executive director of Friday the 13th, the game. 80s. Interestingly enough, we've had Friday the 13th. I have a game I'm going to talk about later, and this one are all very 80s themed. It's like horror is just linked to 80s.
Yeah, it is.
Interesting. Another good one, Gotham Knights, which is not a game that's really been on my radar. I've been hearing about it, but they did a sort of villains trailer. And they also announced a release date of October 21st. So it just looks like one of those big, kind of like the Batman games. Bunch of characters. It looks like it could be fun. I mean, the trailer's really good. Would you be interested in this one? I don't know if is it coming to Switch? I think it.
I don't
think it's
I'm
coming
not
to
sure.
Switch.
I don't think it was either.
Yeah. So you're obviously not interested in it.
I'm out.
You're out. I watch it and I go, ooh, that looks kind of interesting, but I know I'll never play it. So
that sounds about right. You have too many other games.
Here's an interesting one that I was kind of looking forward to. This is the Expanse. This was announced for summer 2023. This is the
space one.
This is the space one. It is the child of Telltale and Deck 9. So Telltale, they did the Walking Dead games. They did Game of Thrones. They did a lot of those story-based games, and the company died for a little bit, and now it's come back. And Deck 9 are the makers of Life is Strange: True Colors. So I was very interesting to see this because I like both of those companies a lot. But I don't know. What did you think about this one? Because it didn't hit for me.
Definitely did not hit for me.
Okay.
I fast forward a little bit. At one point, it just seemed a little
Why did they show this off? It actually says this is pre-alpha footage. It says summer 2023, so it's literally a year away. We know it'll be delayed. Come on. But why would they show this? This kind of game usually sells based on its look, and you're showing what look like not final graphics at all. So it was a really bad first impression.
Well, I think that's why they tried to show the actress and then the behind the scenes developer. I think they just tried to. It was more of a promotion video, and they feel like, how do you promote a game without showing something? That's the way I kind of took into it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I cannot stand space games. And I think I realized why while watching this trailer. There's a lot of there is no floor, and you're kind of spinning the camera around, and it was giving me a little bit of motion heebie-jeebies. And I realized that space games tend to be like that. That's why I tried to play Starlink and I got ill, and I haven't played, Everspace. I don't think I like space games, so I'm definitely out on this, unfortunately. Hogwarts Legacy.
Ooh, this trailer shocked me a little bit. They got into more of the story of the game, which felt a little bit linear. Not necessarily linear, but a little bit more specific task focused than the original exploration open world concept that the previous trailers, I guess, kind of portrayed, if that made sense, right? It was focusing on one specific thing. Interesting. What was your thoughts?
I cannot figure out if I want to play this game or not. I just can't.
I'm in the same exact shoes as you. I mean, obviously, you love Harry Potter. I'm a Harry Potter fan. My wife loves it more than I do. I don't know. Maybe this is the game I'd play with her, let her play it if she wants to play it on the TV, and maybe I'll jump in here and there. But I would never just play it by myself. I'm not sure. Also concerned, and I usually am never concerned about how it will run on a system, but
you should be concerned.
A big game to run on the Switch.
I have seen more and more of these third-party games get compromised in ports. I should mention I was playing Death's Door because Michelle needed help with one of the bosses, and I was like, "Wow, this game has it's running at half the frame rate. It looks rougher than when I played it on Xbox." So Hogwarts Legacy is going to be not ideal. I want to love this game. I want to just dive into it and play it. But every time I see it, it just reminds me of one of those games that's just forever hand-holding you, forever cutscening you. And it's just you're not actually playing.
It also is one of those games that never ends. There's probably never ends. Now, is Michelle all in?
Oh, she's not playing this.
No?
I mean, she likes Harry Potter, but she when she sees this and I show her trailer, she goes, "I want to see Harry Potter. Who are these people?
I want to play the characters I know." Yeah, that makes sense.
And I totally get why they're going. I think it was a good decision by them to get away from those characters, because then you got to start being canon all the time. They can do whatever they want here.
Yep. So it's like the new Lord of the Rings show coming out. You're not going to have the same Lord of the Rings characters. You got to make new ones. I get it. Game of Thrones. You got to make new ones.
Yeah. So, I get it.
I agree.
Yeah. But interesting. I'll keep my eye on it, but I'm not sure. If I play it, I'll play it on PS5. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
Moving out to Drew. I'm stepping aside. Tell us
It
about
looks
this one.
great. I can't wait for this game. It looks like you could do maybe co-op with up to 4 people now. I don't know if it fully said it. If you could play online, I believe, with other people.
It does. It actually says quite in the beginning that you can play online.
So, I mean, I think it's just taking everything that like Overcooked 2 kind of did and like how do we improve the game, and it's doing just that. Obviously, if you guys remember, Moving Out was I loved this game. I played every level. We beat them all. We 3-starred them. I don't know why it just connected with me. It was just so fun. This one looks goofy, new, sillier, stupider mechanics. Yeah,
Seems to have a totally different art style. Is that just me, or is it very different?
It looks similar.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely has always been like. It almost looks like it's like a shitty art style in a weird way. It's not the smoothest.
Right down your
right
alley.
Down my alley. Yeah, I'm all in. But next year, we have to wait for this one.
Oh, was that next year? Wow. Okay.
I believe it's 2023. Yeah.
I don't know why, but Moving Out never connected with me, even though I loved Overcooked and Overcooked 2. It just
I know
never
you tried it a
connected
couple
with me.
times too. Yeah.
It didn't help. Nobody in my family really wanted to play. When we played it on, I think we played it on Game Pass, and then my son and I played, and we got further in, but then that was it. We just stopped after that. I don't know. It didn't do it for me. Sonic Frontiers gets a release date November 8th and a new trailer. I gotta say, I've said in the past, I think we both have, that even though it didn't look great, I was optimistic because it looked different. It was not the same game. It was a different thing. Yeah, it's this big open world, and is Sonic going to work here? And it just has this weird look where I'm seeing this cartoony Sonic and I'm seeing this Xenoblade world. And I have to say, as I see this trailer, I don't think I'm really interested. But I thought the trailer was good in that it really tried to highlight a lot of the story elements this time. Really connected with the music. We see the Green Hill Zone. So I think a lot of people might like this one, but I'm looking at it going, no, I'm not really interested in it. But good try. I like that they tried to do something new.
I'm still on the fence. I mean, this comes out right around Rabbids, right? So
right.
I don't know.
It looks like it'll be a little later. Actually, I think November 8th is the same time frame as what else was coming out? God, I can't remember. There's something.
Pokemon?
Yeah, Pokemon, I guess. I thought there was something else that was coming out too. I'm just misremembering. All right, this one's exciting. We have finally. Yes, Drew, it is exciting. Got more footage of Miniko's Night Market, the infamous Animal Crossing replacement that we last saw before Animal Crossing was even announced for Switch. That is how long this game has been in development purgatory. I can't get my mind off of it. This was the game that was supposed to be there when Animal Crossing wasn't on Switch. And since the last time we saw this game, we got an announcement about Animal Crossing. We got an announced delay of Animal Crossing. We've got Animal Crossing Direct. We had the release of Animal Crossing. We had the 1-year anniversary, then the 2-year anniversary, and then add another 5 months. And now we have seen Miniko's Night Market. And it looks good.
Does it? I'm not really sure what's happening.
It might not be your game, but I mean, it looks good. It looks like there's more story to it. You can see some questing going on. Sleeping circus curvy. I don't know. It looks like a more polished, full-fledged game. I don't know what they had when they showed it. But
you just want to pet the cat. That's what you wanted to.
I gotta pet the pussy. I don't know. It just looks interesting. I'm probably not going to play it. It's just not my kind of game. But I'm pretty sure Michelle's going to play it. It's great to see. And it looks like it's going to come out this year. I think they must be pretty confident it'll be out this year. It's amazing that we got to see it again. Thought it was dead. They kept saying it was coming, I think they've spent way too long on it. But it's almost here. Wow.
I'm happy for now? You.
I guess.
I guess.
What comes out first, Miniko or Silk Song at this point? Both games we haven't seen in forever, and then we finally saw them again and didn't get a release.
I'm still waiting for Sports Story.
That's another one. That is another one. You're right.
That just seems odd. I mean, I assume they were using the same engine. The problem is they put too many new sports. Now you have
too many sports,
new mechanics.
I think they said themselves that they've like expanded it by like too much.
Why didn't they just pick one sport and just do soccer story or tennis story or whatever the hell they wanted to do? That would have been fine.
Didn't they have a frisbee or something in golf story? There was like another different.
Well, they had frisbee golf.
Frisbee golf, yeah. I mean, it's not like they're similar. Just have the same name in it.
They're kind of similar.
Then there is Alone in the Dark, which I will say Drew put this on the list. It actually came out a little bit before our last episode, but we didn't talk about it. But a little preview trailer of an Alone in the Dark reboot, I think.
Yeah, I can't really tell if it's like a remake. It's not a remake, but it's some type of reboot. I don't know if they're calling it Alone in the Dark. I think they're calling it just Alone in the Dark.
Mm-hmm.
It's not 5
it's
or
like
anything.
A reboot.
Listen, you might not know this, but Alone in the Dark might be in one of my top 10 games of all time.
Oh, whatever. That is one of the worst games I've ever played in my life.
What?
It's so bizarre.
It's fantastic. The lore and just the uniqueness. It's
it's unique. All right,
nostalgia a little bit as well. It is also on iPhone if you want to download it, the App Store.
The original. It's so ugly now. Like it's like.
But anyways, what did you think of this trailer? Did you watch it?
I had heard about the trailer and I put it on while Michelle was there and was like, "Ooh, this is gonna be the Alone in the Dark trailer." And I got about halfway through and I turned it off. I was like, I don't really care about this.
You were too spooky. You were too scared. You're a little scared.
I never beat the original game. I played it on 3DO. And I played it a lot on 3DO. But the first game was very much an experimental, like, what the hell do you do sort of game. And I never looked up anything and got lost. So this one was like just a bunch of little spooky 3D images. Does nothing for me.
The key to the first one is you needed to keep the lantern. The very first item you get is how you beat the game.
The lantern.
A lot of people, that's the only way. You throw it at the tree. Remember? Underground, you go through the worm tunnels.
I don't remember. I would totally try the first one again because it's probably not a long game, especially if you know what you're doing.
If you could, you probably use a guide and beat it in a couple hours, if that.
Right. Okay. All right.
Anywho,
well, that's really all the news we have. It's been a pretty light week, but we did get a good number of questions, so let's get to those while Drew gets his breath. All right, first question from Hoots. Definitely a newer member of our community we've had around lately.
Hoots. My daughter bought a headweight stuffed animal at Universal and named it Hootie. She's on this binge of like naming everything with like an IE at the end. Right?
Yeah. Ends with a smile.
You know, kids do that, correct, right? And then there was like a Pua, from Moana, Pua stuffed animal. She's like Pooey, and I'm like, no, probably shouldn't do that. It gets worse. You've seen Shrek, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
This is that new Puss in Boots movie comes out. So
oh God.
Puss there was a stuffed animal. She's like, oh look, Pussy. I'm like, no. That's what we're done. You can't say that. She's like, say what? It's like
she must be nothing. So confused.
Anyways, sorry, Hoots. What do we got?
Hoots asked us, with the next phase of the previous gen eShop closing up, happening this month, no more gift card redemptions via 3DS and Wii U. How are you guys preparing for this? Are you stocking up on games, hacking, modding your systems to get said games, or do we all just need to stop living in the past and embrace the future? So I think what's happening here is that you won't be able to put money into the shop anymore. You'll still be able to buy stuff for, I think, a while longer, but this is the end of investing into it. So whatever money you have in the shop is all you can use to buy forever. Have you been, buying from the shop before this happens, or you moved on?
Listen, I respect Hoots. Like he kind of gave us options, right? Because I respect that in somebody. He gets the full circle because everybody needs to stop living in the past and embrace the future. Well said, Hoots, because that's it. Why are you still buying 3DS and Wii U, James? Why?
Woo! Fire!
Are you?
Did you just call out retro logic?
No, I have no problems with playing them. I just don't think you need to go buy shit on the 3DS and Wii U.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. I will say, I think there's a huge difference between the 3DS and the Wii U. I have not played my Wii U. It is set up downstairs. I could play it anytime I want. I just haven't played it. But the 3DS is still a very cool handheld system. I love flipping it open. Maybe put the 3D on if I'm using the 3DS.
My kids play it. They actually stole mine. Actually, that's not true. But they do have 2 of my old 3DSs, and they use it regularly.
It's a great little piece of hardware. The heavier models feel really good. The newer model, I use the newer model actively right now. I think I'm using the blue and black one. It looks really nice, but I don't like the lightweight feel of it. But anywho, I did buy Pocket Card Jockey several months ago when we were going through one of those. You can't put money in anymore with your credit card or something. I had heard about that game, and like all the podcasts were talking about what's the game you need to get. And I was like, let me go buy Pocket Card Jockey. It was on sale when I got it. It was like $7. I didn't love it. I'll say it that way. I might go back to it and play it all over again because I was missing something. I don't know what it was. I was missing something that was making it fun. But yeah, that was the last game that I ever bought on 3DS and probably will stay that way. There's nothing else left there. Yeah, I'm sad to see the eShop go, but really nobody's playing 3DS anymore. And it's just one of those things where when this happens, everyone's like, oh no, I'm very actively playing it. So I don't know. Everyone's playing. So do you remember when Samus Returns came out on 3DS, the year the Switch came out? And everybody was bitching and complaining. Nobody plays the 3DS anymore. Why they do this? Now, 5 years later, we're complaining that they are closing up the shop.
That's what people do. Move on, people. Move on.
Look, nobody likes to complain more than I do. We'll move on. We got a question from Ibicel, who sent us a link.
Ooh, can I click it now?
We haven't really looked at this link. Yeah, we can look at it. The title of this link is 20 of the horniest erotic thrillers ever made. And the front picture is Basic Instinct, Sharon Stone, right? We all know we watched Basic Instinct for the story. So I thought it would be a good idea. Let's go through this. Let's take a look here. We can go through this together. So let's start. This is one of those start the slideshow kind of things where they make you click the link a whole bunch of times.
Oh, okay. Oh, I got the ad pop up already.
The ads. First one is Dressed to Kill, Michael Caine movie. This is 1980. Holy shit, you weren't even born yet.
Well, that's true.
I like that it tells you where to stream it. I have never even heard of this movie. I like usually, that too. With these lists, I look to see who's the actress in it. So Nancy Allen plays a sex worker who witnesses a murder and becomes the primary suspect. I've never heard of this movie.
No.
Next one, Body Double, 1984. I think I've heard of this one.
Nope.
Melanie Griffith is in it. What is it? Dressed to Kill. Oh my gosh. Upping the sex and violence while also simplifying the plot and narrowing the focus. Spies a beautiful woman and then, of course, witnesses her murder. He winds up a suspect in the case, getting caught up in the world of Hollywood porn when he seeks the help of an adult film actress played by Melanie Griffith.
All right, let's just rapid fire these 10. We're going to be here all night if we do all 20 like this.
All right, 9.5 weeks.
Top 5 we can talk about, or if we know one.
Okay, 9.5 weeks.
I don't know that one either.
I think I've heard of it. I haven't seen it. Fatal Attraction.
Oh yeah,
I still have never seen Fatal Attraction.
I don't remember it. I saw it a long time ago.
What year were you born? This is 87.
That was my year.
There we go. Very famous movie. I still have not seen it yet. I didn't realize it was like horny. No Way Out.
Oh, that's a good one.
Did you? Oh, have you seen this one?
I've seen that one.
Like nudity wise, or just the movie's good?
I enjoyed the movie.
Okay. We got, what is this? Angel Heart?
Don't know this one.
Bad Influence? What is that? Rob Lowe, 1990.
Nope.
I should know that. I don't know that one. Poison Ivy with Drew Barrymore. I'm not. She get naked in this one? A tough kid from the wrong side of the tracks, which turns out to be a bad idea when Ivy makes a play for her friend's dad that ends in murder. Whoa.
That's Put like that one on your list.
I know. That's like the topic of half of all porno. Basic Instinct. Have you seen Basic Instinct, Drew?
I don't know if I have. Have you?
Well, of course. I mean, like, you watch it for the scene. Of course, obviously. Yeah. If anybody's young, there is a famous scene where Sharon Stone's being interrogated, and she goes to cross her legs, and she's not wearing underwear. And I can't remember how much you really see, but you kind of see down there. So I was young when this movie came out. 90. It's got to be 90 something, right? When did this movie come out?
92.
92. So yeah, I was a young hornball teenager. So yeah, I was trying to
we've all been there.
I don't know. Couldn't even tell you what the movie was about. But that's, Sharon Stone's signature. Single white female. Bridget Fonda, Jennifer Jason Leigh, both very cute for the time. I haven't seen that one though. I think this is one where like someone advertises to move into an apartment or whatever, and then she like kind of takes her identity, and it gets like really psychological and weird. Haven't seen it. Indecent Proposal. Have you seen this one?
No, these aren't like on my list of movies typically.
I don't think they're very nudie either. I have seen Indecent Proposal. This is like, back in the day, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's obviously in the movie, some guy offers $1 million for this guy's wife, and it's Demi Moore, and it's like, do you take the money or not? I go, oh yeah, I think Woody Harrelson's married to her. Do you take that money or not? And it has become sort of like a would you rather sort of thing, right? If somebody offered $1 million for one night with your wife, would you do it for the $1 million? Good question. I mean, I'd leave it up to Michelle, but I'd be fine with it for $1 million, right? It's like, is it cheating if you're letting it happen? Like, there's people with kinks, so I mean,
I'd be go for it.
I'd be like, go for it, perform well.
Yeah, maybe you got a tip,
right? I certainly wouldn't force it. I mean, like,
I'd recommend it. I say, I'd push it a little bit. Yeah,
you'd say, look,
I think you should do it.
Right. The price of PS5s is going up. We could use the money. All right. The Last Seduction. I think I've heard of this one. Bill Pullman. I don't know. Not interested in it. Bound. Who is that? Jennifer Tilly and Gina Gershon. I have seen this movie.
Okay.
Yes, I have seen this movie. I like this movie. This was like kind of at the beginning of like when lesbians were allowed to be in movies. And Gina Gershon was in Showgirls. And I'll never forget, the hype behind Showgirls, and Elizabeth Berkley was her name, starred in Showgirls. But I remember watching Showgirls and going, who is this girl? And it was Gina Gershon. She's a vixen. Yeah, I've seen this movie. I remember it being good from the perspective of being horny. I think it was a fairly good movie. Wild Things.
We've all seen Wild Things.
I have not, but I still want to. I need to watch this. Tell us about Wild Things.
I can't. I mean, you're talking about movies I've seen like 20 years ago. I don't remember them.
Denise Richards and Neve Campbell. Neve, by the way, I had a huge crush on Neve Campbell.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Party of Five. Yes.
Yes.
That's it? That's all you're going to tell me?
Yeah, I don't remember much. I just know I've seen this one.
Hardly a scene goes by during which there isn't some new revelation building out a love triangle that becomes a love quadrangle. Ooh, spoilers. With the addition of Kevin Bacon, who offers up some memorable and rare for the genre male nudity. You're telling me I'm going to see Kevin Bacon dong?
It's possible.
Wow.
I'm going to find the picture for you and send it to you?
I do need to watch this movie.
Okay. For the dong.
Denise Richards and Neve Campbell. Whoa. Cruel Intentions.
Look at that image they have there.
Two girls kissing with tongue is just like right on the preview. Like they're kissing the YouTube logo.
It's like the censor.
I haven't seen this one, but I've heard good things about this one as well.
Same.
Yeah.
Is it into more of my timeline? 1999, a little bit. Teenager.
Yep. Trois. How do you pronounce it? Trois? Is that French? Trois?
I don't know this one.
I assume it's like trying to be menage a trois.
Choice?
I've never heard of this one.
No, me either.
Never heard of this one. Unfaithful, also have not heard of this one. Richard Gere and Diane Lane, 2002.
I'm going to be honest, nothing against Evansville, but this list blows.
It kind of does.
That was all it's...
Swimming Pool, 2003. What is this? I don't know.
There's like
a middle-aged lady, stranger by the lake.
Nope. I mean, these are like not even B movies. They're like C movies.
I think some of them are foreign too. Deep Water. This one looks newer.
Seen Deep Water. That's new.
Yeah, it looks like it's like a Netflix thing or something. Oh no.
No, I didn't see this. I thought this was something else. Oh, look at he did all the other previous movies. The director from 9.5 Weeks, Fatal Attraction, and Indecent Proposal.
Wow, man. Someone needs to investigate that.
Just loves his raunchy movies.
All right, that was it. I don't know. I can name a lot better hornier movies.
I'm going to give you one right now. What was the movie? Hold on, I'm going to find it. You keep talking.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
First of all, I'll go back to Showgirls. That is the defining horny movie of my generation because when I was in college, it came out my first year at CSU. So I was in the dorms and we were on a personal computing floor. I've talked about that before. And, so it was like all guys because it was a dorm. And we rented a copy of Showgirls. And so we all like climbed into this guy's room. He had the best movie set up and we watched Showgirls. And like, look, having 15 horny dudes watching Showgirls in a college dorm is not a good idea.
Yeah, that's awkward.
It just is. And we all watched it, and then we all went back to our rooms, and you can just imagine what happened after that. But it was great.
I don't want
it was like the greatest bad movie, though. There was so much nudity. I fell in love with Gina Gershon. It was nudity in every scene. And some of it was really weird. And looking back at it, it's just not a good movie. But man, oh man, like that was the defining movie of my generation.
All right. I got one for you.
Yeah.
Zombie Strippers.
Zombie Strippers? What is that?
2008. Robert Englund owns a strip club. The guy that plays Freddy Krueger. Yeah. So when I worked in the movie business, he told me about this movie, so I went and watched it. He owns a strip club, and one of the strippers, Jenna Jameson's in it.
Jameson
turns into a zombie, and then I think they slowly, like every time someone comes in for a lap dance, they turn them into zombies. It's so bad, but it's just like some hot chicks dancing naked. Tito Ortiz is like the bouncer. It's so bad, but so good.
Wow. That's amazing.
That's not one you watch around anybody. That you don't watch that one by yourself.
Jenna Jameson was extremely famous porn actress at a time. Like she was like, all over like internet media or whatever. I have not even heard of that movie. I don't know if I can bear to watch that movie.
It's not great. It's short though.
It's short. Okay. It's got that going. Do you ever see one of my favorite movies is, and just period, Boogie Nights?
I don't know. I don't think I know that one.
If you've never seen, so Boogie Nights is the one with Mark Wahlberg and he's a porn star. Dirk Diggler.
Okay.
If you've never seen Boogie Nights, you need to see Boogie Nights. It is in my top 10 movies all time.
Wow.
And, but it's, it's a movie that takes place. It's about the porn industry, but there's so much more to it. Every great actor you can imagine is in this movie. And, if you just wait, hold on. Let me bring up the IMDb here. So I shouldn't say great actor.
Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds. This was his comeback movie.
There's a lot of people in it.
Julianne Moore is in it. John C. Reilly is in it. Heather Graham, William H. Macy. And then even one of the smaller roles is, who's the guy? He died recently. Well, maybe not recently. Oh my God, that's funny. He doesn't show up on the whole list. He had a very small role in the movie, but I wonder why he's not. That's weird. But Philip Seymour Hoffman plays a very small role in this movie. And I mean, he's not even in the left. Yeah, but he's like all the way at the bottom.
No, he's the second row, the top, the first one in the second row.
Not what I'm looking at. I'm not seeing that.
He's number 7 on the list.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know there's a porn actress in this. I think Nina Hartley is like from the porn industry. So there's a few porn actors and actresses in the movie. It is an amazing movie. It has one of those great continuous shots right at the beginning of the movie. It's like a 5-minute continuous shot all the way through. It's brilliantly done. Burt Reynolds is incredible in it. Julianne Moore is one of my favorite actresses. And I got to say, I fucking fell in love with Heather Graham in this movie. She's got a scene that just like blows you away. So, I mean, it's just full scale nude. I mean, oh my God. Julianne Moore's nude in it. I mean, it's just like whatever. This is the real, but it's such a great movie too. So you should totally watch this with Amy. Get yourself in the mood, man. No, but it's really good. Great.
Yeah, we both have COVID. That'll be fun.
Eyes Wide Shut. Have you seen Eyes Wide Shut?
God, they're all like a blur. I think I may have seen that one, but again, I saw that one a long time ago. I don't really remember it well.
Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman. There were a couple at the time. I think that's the first DVD I ever bought. That's how long ago it was, and it was like that movie is just full of nudity. There's like orgies, but for me at the time, it was Nicole Kidman gets naked. Weird movie. Probably not the best movie, but I love weird movies. So that's a good one. Now, I have a question here for you. Did you ever watch a movie just to see one nude scene?
Wait, say that again?
Have you ever watched a movie because you heard about one nude scene? Like you watched the movie.
Like the whole movie?
Like Basic Instinct, right? Like a lot of people watched Basic Instinct just to see the scene with Sharon Stone. Have you ever watched a movie because you heard there was like a nude scene in it and you wanted to see? I mean, we know you did, but are you willing to admit it
John, here and now? I would admit it, and I'm sure I have. I can't. I mean, in the later days, I could just Google it, right? You don't have to go watch the whole movie. I lived in a little bit different times than you did.
Yeah, pretend like you couldn't just do that.
I'm trying to think.
I'll give you one good example. I watched the movie Swordfish because Halle Berry had a topless scene in it.
Shit, I've actually done the same thing in that. That's a good example. I did that with that movie. And the scene, she's like laying on that lounge chair. I can't even tell you what the movie's about, but she's laying on the lounge chair. Yeah, it was.
She's like reading something, and someone comes over to talk to her. She just puts the book down, and her boobs are just hanging out. It's a well done scene. She's in great shape too. It was not a letdown. Here's one movie that I've been wanting to see for just the one scene, but I just haven't, and that's Wolf of Wall Street.
I saw that one
because of Margot Robbie. I will cheat and say I have seen the scene. Does not disappoint.
Does not.
Any other movies you can think of? I want to mention Mulholland Drive. Have you ever seen Mulholland Drive?
No.
Also, I think one of my favorite movies of all time. Super weird movie. I don't even know how to describe it. It's super weird. Who's the guy who did it? David, what's his name? He did Twin Peaks. Oh my God. What is his name? David Lynch. But I loved it. And it stars Naomi Watts and this other girl. I don't really know who the other girl is. And there's some nude scenes. This other girl has a great nude scene that I love. So I actually own this movie. And
just for that.
I love this movie. Naomi Watts is one of my favorite actresses, but yeah, they both get nude. So this is a movie. If you haven't seen a movie, if you're looking for a movie with some like skin and is really good, Boogie Nights and Mulholland Drive, both.
Okay.
That's right up there. Not Showgirls. If you just want skin, Showgirls. Not for a good movie. All right. Well, thanks, Ebicel. Your list was a little weird. Maybe that suggests maybe you're a little older. Maybe you're more mature. But we filled it in with the real winners. All right. We have voicemails. first voicemail. Motherfucker. Dylan. Bird Fuel. It's got more mistakes for me. Let's listen to what Dylan has to say.
Hey, John and Drew. This is Dylan, also known as Bird Fuel. I'm famous for getting that 100% Kirby in the Forgotten Land bounty like 3 or 4 days after the game came out. And that's it. My question for you guys is, what's it like always being wrong? I'm just kidding. You guys are just wrong about Xenoblade 3. My real question is, are there any games that you've played that you feel like you just couldn't get enough of? For example, just about every Kirby game I've ever played, I feel like the game ends way too early and I have to come up with ways to extend the life of the game, such as in Kirby games, playing through the boss rush with every single ability. So I just couldn't get enough of the game. Are there any games like that for you?
It's a good question.
He didn't say goodbye. That is a good question, actually. Most times when a game ends, I'm happy to be done with it and move on to the next one. Yeah. I've got one game that I remember when it was done. I was like, that's it. I want more. There should be more here. Yeah. Untitled Goose Game.
Okay.
That game ended too soon. It was great. I thought it could have gone longer. I would have been more than happy. Give me DLC. Give me everything. I played through and I 100%ed it. I played the co-op with my daughter. I don't think we 100%ed it there, but like I can't get enough of that game. But most other games, yeah, when I finish them, I'll maybe do a 100%, but I'm usually satisfied. Mm-hmm. So, how about you?
You know, I wish I had my list of games in front of me because there was one I remember that I didn't want it to end. But I will say there's a lot of like when you play a Mario game for the first time and like you don't even know what the next world is going to be. There's that feeling of excitement, like what's the level design going to look like? What's the theme going to look like? What is their new power-ups going to do? There's sometimes like that you just like I want it to keep going. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's like you just love the new Mario stuff like that. That's one of them I can really think of. There was another game.
Mario Odyssey had that though. Like you could roll credits pretty soon, but you could keep going too.
Correct.
I mean, you should. I've said it before, right? You should keep going.
You should definitely keep going. I can't think of it. There was one.
Was it a golf game?
I'll tell you what, Golf Story back in the day. I loved that game. I loved everything about it. I wish that one kept going. But,
you could play like multiplayer golf on it too, but it was so tricky because you had to find somebody who played the RPG so that they could play golf with you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you come up with it, but we'll move on. We've got another voicemail here from none other than Bob Cousy.
What's happening, fellas? It's your boy Bob Cousy. I just got done mowing the yard and spraying for weeds, and I realized every time I spray for weeds and I hit a spider, I think it's going to mutate into some crazy killer animal and come back and kill me and my family and everyone that I've ever known. But I was wondering if either one of you guys have any irrational fears like that. John, I know you do. Thanks for taking my call. I'll hang up and listen.
He always cracks me up with that. Irrational fears. I have several. Is he trying? I ran away this past week. I don't think we talked about it, but we talked about it in chat. I was mowing last week and I saw a snake slither into our shrubberies and I just booked it. I just ran. So I'm kind of the opposite of you. I didn't think, let me go get that thing and kill it. I ran, but I don't think that's an irrational fear. Just snakes really creep me out. But if you want irrational fear, I've got some irrational fears. I mean, like, you know, I've got some weird fears. I'm not embarrassed to share.
Okay, let's hear.
And turning on a barbecue. So I don't know if I don't know what really becomes irrational or not. When I was younger, we had a barbecue and I don't know what it was. If it was just because it was like 35 years ago, but it was like a propane barbecue. And then my sister or something would turn it on and it would just do this like, whoosh, right? Like, whoosh. And like I said, I don't know if it was because it was old or they don't know how to turn on a barbecue. Because when you turn on a barbecue, right, you're supposed to turn on the propane and then you hit the spark button. So I have a feeling they were turning on the propane and just letting it sit there for an hour or something.
Yeah, you did a turn. Yeah, you let it sit for like 10 seconds, if that.
Not even that, right?
Yeah.
So when I turn on a barbecue, I will turn on the gas, and then I will show this on camera. I will bend down underneath the source of the flame and press the button. And then if after like a few seconds it doesn't ignite, I will turn off the gas and literally just let it sit there for 5 minutes for the gas to dissipate because of seeing the propane explosions when I was a kid.
Have you ever had to like throw the match in or do anything like that? Like the button's not working?
Never had. Oh God, you mean like a propane with a match?
Well, no. Let's say
I would just buy it in the barbecue.
Or you can. A lot of them actually, believe it or not, if you look on like the side, they have a little hole, and that's for you to put like the lighter in.
Yes, I did have that actually. I had a barbecue. The igniter wasn't working, and then I think I tried using like one of those things like one time, but no. I got it fixed. I don't like to park near cars. So if I'm going to a supermarket, I will always park in the back of the lot where nobody's around me. I don't think this is irrational either. I just don't like the idea of people opening their door and hitting my car. I just don't trust parking. No matter how far apart the cars are in a parking lot, I always feel like they are too close and they're going to hit my door.
Well, people aren't courteous. That happened to me the other day. I was so pissed. And then it's like, you want to just open the door right back into them. You're like, well, that's just going to hurt my door as well.
Did it happen while you were in the car?
No. But having young kids, have you ever pulled up to another car with somebody in it and your kid do it? Because that's awkward.
I don't, but I had someone, I was waiting in a supermarket lot and some kid opened the door and just, like they don't care. And it was like, boom. And I was like,
and what do you
like, son of a bitch, you can't yell.
It's a 5-year-old, like.
Right. Like you have to like let your kid know, be careful, whatever. The kid just went, boom, boom.
Yep.
Like, my God. Another one, maybe a little more irrational from just seeing the news, but I have my Christmas lights, obviously, in my room. That goes all around my room. I keep them up year round. I generally don't turn the light on in here. I just have my Christmas lights. I will always turn it off when I leave the house because I've heard story of Christmas lights lighting on fire. And usually it's because it's on like a Christmas tree that's dry and it can like cause a fire. But if we leave the house and the kids are here, I will make sure I don't leave my lights on because I'm afraid there could be a spark or something.
That's like those air fresheners that you plug into the wall.
Yeah.
They say those are bad. Like I actually have one at work in my office, but I would never put one in my house.
Wow. Oh, wow. We have them all over.
I thought they say they could cause fires.
God, if an air freshener can cause a fire, why would you even use it?
I don't know. Just saying.
Do you have any irrational? By the way, running from a snake is not irrational. That is actually a survival instinct.
You're gonna catch it and eat it.
No, that's not happening.
All right, so elevators. Hear me out. I'm not afraid of the actual elevator, but the instant from when you're walking onto the elevator and you have one light on and one light off. That is a real fear. If that thing ever moved, you would just get like sliced in half. That's a fear. It's like,
do you jump in?
You gotta like jump in you gotta be quick. I don't know if I'd say it a fear, but me and my wife always joked around. How long do you think? I'm not like a great swimmer. I can swim, don't get me wrong, but I can't float well. Like I could probably swim, whatever distance, but how long do you think you could survive in like the open ocean with one pool noodle?
One pool noodle?
I told my wife I wouldn't survive probably 15 minutes. I'd panic and I'd drop the noodle and it would float away. Or
oh my God,
how long do you?
That would be a fear of mine, like a major fear to be stuck in the ocean because like whales, whatever.
Yeah. Something brushes your leg, you can't see it.
I wouldn't survive very long. I'm not even really a good swimmer.
No,
I wouldn't survive very long. I don't want to be there.
We should ask that on Twitter. How long do you think you could survive with one noodle?
I mean, survival instincts are going to kick in. If you think that somebody's going to save you, If I didn't think anybody was going to come save me, I would just like let go of the noodle and end it early.
What if it was like a 24-hour challenge? $1 million.
$1 million for how long? A day?
Yeah. Would you even attempt it?
I wouldn't. I would not even attempt it.
Me either. I would not. Even if there was somebody there, I just know I wouldn't survive.
If I was in the middle of the ocean and I had no hope of anyone going to save me, I would let go of the noodle. And then I would just, this is going to sound weird, I would just swim downward and look around because I am fascinated by what's under the ocean, right? Like deep ocean, whatever. But like we go to a beach and then you go under the water. Maybe you have goggles on and you look around and you just see shells and shit. Maybe a turtle. I don't know, whatever. Imagine just going underneath the ocean and looking around. It might be dirty. I don't know. And just seeing like a shark or like whatever. You would see totally different stuff than you're used to at like a beach. That'd be kind of wild. And I would just swim downward until something got me or water pressure. I don't know what.
You think you'd make it that far?
No, I wouldn't get to the deep sea, but I would just swim downward and just say, hey, something, come get me, but I'm going to go look and see what I can see from here. If
you don't think your body would naturally react and just start going the other way?
Oh, totally. Yeah, totally. I'm just saying this hypothetically.
You get to the top and be like, damn it.
Yeah, in reality, I would cling on to the noodle like a koala bear. All right. How did we get on that topic? I have totally lost track. Oh, the Irrational Fears. Totally lost track. All right. And we have anything else for Bob Cousy's weird question?
No, great question, Bob. Thank you.
It was a good question. I like the weird questions. I like it. Yeah, and I don't like bugs, but whatever. That's not irrational. It's just gross. Okay. Well, that's all our questions. It's time to get to what we've been playing.
What we've been playing.
Drew, I'll start us off. Okay. I've played a lot this week.
Good for you.
I've played a lot this week. And one of the more exciting things I played this week is I played the Uncharted. Oh, God, what do they call that? The Legacy of Thieves collection, I think, or something. So this
Lost
is
Legacy?
Well, I wanted to play Uncharted The Lost Legacy because it's 2 girls that starred in it, and I heard the game was short. But I found out that it had spoilers for Uncharted 4. Now, I've played 1 and 2, but I've never played 3 and 4. And so I decided I'm just going to play 4. Both of these games were on PS Plus, so they were free to me.
They weren't free.
So I played Uncharted 4 first. So this is A Thief's End. This is supposed to be the quote-unquote end of the Nathan Drake story, although we don't know. But it's supposed to be the end of his story. And I didn't play 3, but I decided to just go with 4. And wonderful. It was great. Absolutely loved it. Great story. It takes you back to his childhood, his family. It takes you back. And then even does some really cool stuff at the end. Absolutely loved it. It's about pirates. Pirate lore. I don't think it's real pirate lore. I haven't really looked it up, but it's about these very specific pirates and a whole story about them. I think it's all fantasy, but it was fantastic. And by the end of it, I was like, look, Neil Druckmann, who he made The Last of Us, he did Uncharted. Guy's brilliant. And he just makes great stories that are rooted in reality. So you're not like doing a story that you have no context to. I mean, just fantastic. And then once I finished this one, I went right to Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, and I won't talk specifically about it, but yeah, if you want to play both of these, you need to play Uncharted 4 first. You can play Lost Legacy and enjoy it just fine, but there will be some big major story spoilers for 4 that you'll kind of wish you didn't see. So if you think you're gonna play Uncharted 4, play that first, then play Lost Legacy. Lost Legacy is a shorter game. I looked up on the history of this one. Uncharted 4 came out 2016, and I think Legacy came out 2019 or 2018. But this was supposed to be sort of DLC to Uncharted 4, but it got too big. So it got released as its own game. But it's not a full-fledged, fully sized game. But it's also not a DLC. It's kind of in between. And they sold it for $40 instead of $60. And absolutely loved it. It stars Chloe Frazer, who's from Uncharted 2 and 3, even though I didn't remember her from 2. And Natalia, I get that right? Natalia or Nadine? I can't remember. Natalia?
Are you asking me?
I don't fucking know. Who is in Uncharted 4. Yeah, it's basically girl group, and it's awesome. So many great lines in this game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Both games are totally replayable if you want to try to get all the treasures and that sort of thing. Absolutely love them. Would recommend. If you have PS Plus Extra and you haven't played these games, these are two really big recommendations I would give. I absolutely love them. Here's one. I played the demo of The Quarry. This was on sale, and I was going to buy it a few weeks ago, and I saw they had a demo, and I said, before I spend $45, let me just get the demo and see if I like it beforehand. It's made by Supermassive Games. They do narrative games, but I've never played any of their games before. This is a kind of a horror game that is very has Friday the 13th vibes, but really takes a lot from 80s horror. Some of the music sounds a little like Nightmare on Elm Street. There's just lots of it. You're at a camp, all sorts of things. If you love 80s horror, you will love this. Let me tell you, Drew, I played the demo of this past week at night. All my family was asleep. The demo's about a half hour. This is game of the year potential for me. This
is not Nintendo, right?
This is non-Nintendo. I think it's on PS5 and Xbox. This has game of the year potential for me. This could end up being my game of the year. Now, I haven't played it. I played the demo. The demo is brilliant. And if you can play the demo, just play the demo. I guarantee you, even if you don't play the game, it is an entertaining 30 minutes you will love. So right now I am waiting for a sale because I'm a horrible person and I don't want to spend $70 on it. It is actually on sale right now on Xbox. So I think it's 30% off on Xbox. I'm waiting for a PS5 sale again. Should be soon.
Is this another one of your stupid little story-driven games?
It is a narrative game from what I know of it, besides the demo, which was amazing. All of the camp counselors can die or they can all survive. There's so much that can happen. Your ending has such a range. And it's all 80s themed. And it has the best tutorialization I've ever seen in a game because in the beginning, you're driving in a car and then something's about to happen that is going to require you to act. It's a quick time event and the game stops and they bring up a tutorial and it is in the style of the Twilight Zone. Or if you were a Disney person, the Tower of Terror. And there is sort of a sound alike and it is amazing. They explain, there's 7 tutorials total. And it is in the same style of this Twilight Zone. It is hilarious. Absolutely cannot wait to play this game. I think this could be my game of the year. And then the last game on my list this is great. This is very big for us, Drew. We talked about this. This is huge for us. Gerda, A Flame in Winter, I've talked about in the past. Just the last show, I think we mentioned it. This is a game from Don't Nod. Don't Nod didn't develop this game. They published it. But Don't Nod is the developer of the Life is Strange series. They did Twin Mirror, Vampire. They've done those games. And I love basically everything that Don't Nod does. This is published by them. And this is a story about a woman. Takes place in World War II. The Nazis have taken over Denmark. There's a lot of history to this one, a lot of seriousness to this one. It actually reminds me a lot of Valiant Hearts. This game means a lot to us because this is the first game code we've ever gotten on our own as a podcast. So very cool. And of course, it comes from Don't Nod because I was the most eager. I told you, I'm just going to write them and ask for the code. I really want to get it. So I've done a review for this, and I'm allowed to mention that I did play this game. I've got the review done, but you'll just have to wait until we're allowed to post it. But I really did enjoy this game. I will leave all the rest of my commentary to the review because I can't talk too much about it right now. But this is a one, if you like narrative games, keep your eye on this. This comes out September 1st. Just one of those story games that can have a big variance of endings, but a very serious topic. So I really enjoyed that, playing that this weekend. That's all I got.
Nice. Well, I haven't been playing a ton since I've been away, but since I've been stuck at home the last 2 days, I have been playing a game, John, that I've been looking forward to for God, seems like a long time. Cursed to Golf. Finally got my hands on it. I beat it. I beat it this morning. It took a lot shorter than I expected, only about 6 hours. But this game is fantastic. The story of this game is that you are a golf legend, and you're golfing on the 18th hole, and you're about to win the tournament and like the whole championship, and you get struck by lightning, and you go into purgatory, and you need to golf your way out of purgatory. It is a road-like game, where a few things are make it road. The holes, there's 18 holes that you need to beat in order to get out of purgatory, and the holes, if you have to restart a run, the holes will change, so it's not the same holes every time. And it is a 2D, I don't want to say side scroller because up down, but it's a 2D golf game, right? So you're hitting from left to right or right to left. You're not hitting into the screen, or it's not a 3D game.
Mm-hmm.
Now the cool part about this is a lot of things that you can get, right? So there's what they have cards. These cards give you certain types of boosts. The goal is you start each hole with 5 shots, and you have to get it in the hole before your shots expire. There's things along the hole that if you hit these little icons, it can add shots. You have these cards that you get in between holes, between the shop and money and stuff like that you can randomly add shots to your store. These cards also have tons of perks. Like it can change the gravity of a ball. It can make the ball go super far. It can drop the ball whenever you push the button. It can turn water to ice. If you've ever played Stickman Golf on your phone, it had a little bit of that feel with the cards and the ability power-ups. Also, when you beat a hole, there's like kind of has the paths that you can choose, right? You want to go this path and go to the shop. You want to go on that path and get some extra cash. Every about 5 holes or so, there's a boss. If you beat the boss, you get some type of perk that stays with you the life of the game. So even if you die or you don't beat the hole, it comes back to you the next game. That's pretty cool. And then they also have a card binder in the shop. So you can add cards to your binder. By doing that, you're removing them from your current game, but you're stacking them in the binder. So you can almost set yourself up for a successful run. The binder can hold 40 cards. So you could just play like 3 or 4 games if you wanted to and just keep putting all your really good cards in the binder and then say, all right, I'm going to make a run to try to beat the game. The game's not definitely is challenging, but I will say, John, I beat the entire game in my second run.
That is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's just my golf skills or what. It wasn't easy, and I will say it came down to the wire. I had 2 shots left when I beat the game, and I had no cards left to add any like shots to my bucket. So I literally had to win within 2 shots. The boss levels are kind of fun. It's kind of like a match play type thing to beat them, and they all have their own little abilities, so it makes it a little bit challenging. It's great. Every 5 holes or so, too, you progress through different theming, I guess you could say. I don't want to give anything away. Different course designs and theming of Purgatory. But I loved this game. One of my favorite games of the year, John. I will say it was an absolute blast. I kind of wish there was a little bit more. After you beat the game, it did like upgrade my golf cart, which doesn't really do anything. It's just cosmetic. I didn't really see a need to like play again besides to just beat your high score.
Is it like a true rogue like? Is it like a true roguelike where every run you start from scratch, or can you? Because here's the deal: most roguelikes are not designed that you'll beat it on the second try. A lot of roguelikes are actually designed so that you die on the first run because there's some story element they want to introduce. But on the second run, you're beating it already. And to sit there and say, is there more content? You think if you did it 5 or 10 times that you might get some upgrades or something like that you're just missing because you just beat it so quickly?
I don't know. So after I died the first time, there was a little bit different.
Only time.
Yeah, I only died one time. I mean, they did have some different dialogue and say a few different things. I don't know. I mean, I did go play and just die again on purpose to see what happens. But
it's unusual.
When you start the game up now, it says like you have 1 win and here's your scorecards. You can see them. You can actually view online scorecards as well. But I don't know if I just dominated the game or if there's something I'm missing. Like I said, I enjoyed it. I had a blast with it. I will say though, I mean, I beat the game. It probably took me almost 5 hours to beat it. So like, if I died, it would have sucked. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not like it was a 1 hour run to beat the game. It took me a long time. Like there's holes. It took me 41 shots to beat the hole.
Sorry.
Do you know what I'm saying though?
I'm a child. So
it takes a long time
before you finished.
I had 41 strokes.
That's not bad actually. I'm perplexed because we have talked about that, where when you play a roguelike, what is the ideal? I think we made this topic one time. What is the ideal length of time for roguelike? It's not 5 hours, because I had that problem with Griftlands, where I really like Griftlands, but each run just takes so long. It could take multiple days. And so like there's got to be more to this game. Maybe it wasn't designed. The fact that it says you have 1 win, right? Slay the Spire tells you how many wins you have, because they expect you're going to do the next difficulty level. So there's none of that in this game. It's just a game and that's it. There's got to be something.
I went back and looked. I didn't see anything else. I'm telling you. Maybe I should have you Google it for me in case there's something. I don't want to spoil it, but
okay, I'll see if I can find.
Just say what happens once you beat it. I mean, the game's new too, but it was great. It was fun. The story was fantastic. I loved all of it. I was satisfied with it. I mean, it wasn't like it was a super expensive game. I forget what it was, $20 maybe.
Yeah.
But well, anyways, on which just means I can now start Blossom Tales 2.
Yeah, that's right. I know Jesse's playing that. I think he's the only one that I know that's playing it.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, I'm perplexed by this. Usually roguelikes have a lot of depth, even if you beat the game early. Obviously, there's like 80 levels in Slay the Spire, and that's funny. All right.
I don't know.
I'm glad you got to play it, though. I know you're really excited for that one.
And now, one last thing.
Last thing we want to talk about. We didn't talk about it and what we've been playing, but Drew and I have both continued to play Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Well, I don't think we're ready to get into full spoilers, but let's get a little more in-depth in the game. If you are really sensitive or haven't started the game and you don't want to hear this, then just skip ahead to what's coming. But let's get a little bit more in-depth. This game is a month old now. And the last few days, Drew, you've been telling me that you're up to the final boss, And I've wondered, how does he know he's up to the final boss? Like, how do you know? But you are in chapter 7?
I'm in chapter 7. I mean, there's no spoiler alert. You've been watching the whole story unfold, right? You know that Z, right? You know who Z is?
I mean, that's not the way to possibly reveal a story. You can say, I've gotten the sense that there's all of these consoles, and they all have letters.
Yes.
Some of them, the letter corresponds to a name in the game. I won't get into that, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
That certain letters mean something. But yeah, I seem to be progressing through the alphabet of death. And I have beaten Y. And I assume Z, it's one of those things where Z is either the final boss or it's going to be one of those, oh, no, wait, there's a real final boss. The real person behind everything. Yeah, I am progressing. I'm in chapter 7. I have to find these 4 or 6 medals. I can't remember. And in order to find this last medal, I have to do Noah's side story, which required me to figure out some weird thing with the gate, which leads to one of my biggest complaints about the game, but I'll get into it in a little bit. And so I have to finish Noah's side story, which is fine. I really want to finish all their side stories. And then I can complete it. So yes, I am in chapter 7. I don't think I'm near the end of chapter 7, but I think I'm getting there. I don't know how many chapters are in the game, but yeah, I'm 60 hours in. I have done a bunch of side quests, but I can't say that I've sat and tried to finish every side quest. I'm 60 hours in, so I'm well deep into the game. And people like to say these games are 100 hours. They never are. They're 100 hours. Try to fully complete everything, but you know that's not. But yeah, so I think we're both getting quote unquote close.
Yeah,
but I thought you were further ahead than me, honestly.
Well, I am. I can't say what I want to say because I don't want to spoil it. It's not even spoil anything, but I don't want to say anything if you haven't played that.
Yeah, no need.
So I can't really get into that because I think Chapter 7 as a whole was one of my problems that I've had.
You had told me that it was like boss after boss after boss after boss. And when you were telling me that, I was doing this medals run. And I was seeing it where just to get this one medal, I was fighting all of these big, spongy bosses over and over and over. And I was like, I wonder if he's talking about this.
Well, that's part of it, right? You're fighting these level 70 almost, like blue guys, right?
Yeah,
is that
blue,
what you,
there's the blue chrome and the red chrome, but they're both very hard monsters.
It takes like 5 minutes sometimes to kill one guy.
Just that, yeah.
So it's just... Typically, when you're exploring a world or doing a quest, it's just normal enemies. You might be able to beat them in 30 seconds, right? But there's no normal enemies in this castle area in Chapter 7. It's just blue or red. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we're talking about
that was one of my points was it's like you're going through this huge map of a castle, like you said, trying to get into even every nook and cranny, and it's like you have to stop and fight a 5-minute monster every like 30 feet, I feel like.
And then sometimes you fight a big monster and there's like 5 of them at once.
Correct. Or you just try to run by them all and see how far you can make it.
Yes. We've all done that.
We've all done that, trying to get into like a little corner. Like, no, I didn't make it.
I hope this line goes away.
Yep.
Yeah. What do you think about the game? I mean, what do you think about it at this point? How many hours in are you?
I don't know though, 50 something. I want to say.
So I'm actually probably more hours in, but maybe I've done a little more side quest. No, you're leveled up higher than me though.
I am. I'm not gonna lie. I cruised through the second half. I think I may even skipped some of the cutscenes. I'm not gonna lie, John.
So that might have. I watch every cutscene.
I was. The problem is, I loved the first half of this game. Right. I thought the story was awesome. I thought the characters were not great, but enough to entertain me. And we've talked about this. I just feel like it went stale. Like the first quarter of the game, really. Like the first quarter of that story was kind of awesome, where you only have 10 years to live, and there's these 2 different classes, right, or rather like factions. And now you have to work together because there's really a mastermind. Like, but then. Like after that, like let's say that was the first 25% of the story. I feel like the next 70% of it, nothing's changed. It's like the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. And you're just chasing down, like you said, letter after letter, bad guy. Like who am I going to fight next? Who am I going to fight next? And it's not like you're really, nothing was happening in a weird way.
I feel like the world opened up, not the land, but the game opened up. Because you can do whatever quests you sort of want to do. So you can do any of the character quests or any side quests and whatever. And so that has caused the story not to be less linear. So that's why it doesn't feel like it's pushing forward. You're just finding about mostly it's backstories of the 6 characters, or you're doing hero quests to get new heroes. Or it's just some mushy thing like I need rocks or something like that.
Correct. But the problem with the heroes which I agree are cool and all unique, is you don't even know where they are. You have to just you have to get lucky and explore the map and find some of them.
Yeah.
So like you could easily miss like I found the did you find the guy that has the 2 pistols?
I don't think so.
So he's one of my favorite heroes, and I legit found him on a cliff, and then I had to fight him, and then he jumped into water, went down a waterfall, and I had to chase him, and then finally like I unlocked him. But like he's one of my favorite heroes, and I'm sure there's other heroes that I missed that I would have liked as well.
I don't see any fault in that. I think that's just exploring the world and finding a hero. Yeah. Like cool, and then you can like share with your friends and say, "Oh, I found this guy over here." I don't see any fault.
True with that.
Yeah, and none of them are necessary. So it's not like you couldn't continue in the game unless you just happen to stumble upon them.
I don't know. At the end of the day, I've played all the other Xenoblades. I love Xenoblades. I can't say I love this one, but I understood exactly what I was getting into before I even started this game. And for something about this one, the battle system, even though they made so many improvements with who you can attack and focus your attack on, and you can see which direction you're facing the enemy, and all of these directions they made, it felt boring. There was times I'm like, I don't want to go into my what do you call it? The
Combo.
chain attack.
Yes,
I don't want to do it because it takes too long and it's not even fun.
I 100%, and I have that as a point. There are times in the battle when you're fighting some big boss and you look and the chain attack's ready and you look and you're like, oh, I have all my health. I don't want to fucking deal with this. I'll just put the game down and they'll finish it off. I don't need to get into especially like a normal, like tough enemy. Like, I'm not wasting my time with the chain attack. It takes too long.
It does.
It's
and the Ouroboros thing, like you could do the interlink, and then they had the soul tree in the menu that you could upgrade. And that was confusing because when you did the soul tree and you upgraded, Dylan, tell us when we're wrong here. When you upgraded
He's calling already.
When you upgraded the soul tree, right? Then you had to select one of the upgrades that you unlocked and like put it into that little circle on the right. Did you do this? So everything that you unlocked in the soul tree, did you get that perk, or you only could select one of the perks that you unlocked?
I find it confusing because some things you click and it's locked. It's hard to really tell what you can do, like what you've reached but you haven't unlocked, and what you've done. And plus there's 6 soul trees. It's just exhausting.
It's so exhausting.
I just go through and I just like, oh, what can I do? I can do that one. Do it.
Yeah.
The battling. Yeah, go ahead.
The accessories too, I have a problem with, because you've collected 1,000 accessories, and I could never find or sort by the ones I just want. If I want to just increase my health, just let me sort or show me all the accessories that increase my health. Like, I don't want to scroll through one at a time 1,000 accessories and read them.
I feel like we have the exact same complaints about the game. The accessories, you earn accessories as you go, and then they just get put into this flat list, and I can't see, like, sort them by like their strength. Let me see the most powerful accessories that I have not accessorized yet. Instead, you have to look and read each one over and over.
Why can't you just do sort by filter, like rarity, like attribute, like class. Like, let me sort by, at least sort by something, and then you could easily at least just sell the ones you don't want if you could do it that way.
Exactly.
But I'm not going to sit there and sell and go through 1,000 of them.
It is exhausting. It is one of my biggest complaints about the game, the battle system, but also this accessorizing. They have 3 accessories. They have 3 arts. They have 3 special fusion arts. They have their class. It's like there's so much, and then you have 6 heroes to customize, 6 characters to customize. And one of my biggest complaints, and I don't know if this has happened to you, but sometimes my characters just like, I was fighting a battle today, one of the big bosses, one of those 5 to 10 minute battles, and I was getting close to the end, and like my 3 healers I noticed had died. And it was like, oh shit. Fucked. Once they're healed, you can't heal unless if your healers are dead. You have to have your healers there, and then it becomes a matter of time generally. And I was like,
and only healers can resurrect.
So then you restart the battle, but before they start the battle, they let you change your characters, which is great. Like, I want to restart the battle, but let me tweak my characters. And I see it all the time. I look through, and Mio had no accessories connected to her. And another one of my characters had no fusion arts connected to them.
Yeah, because
they just go away.
If you change your character's class, it like deletes all the attributes to it.
Right, and we were told stupid. We were told that it would optimize it so you can change your classes freely, and it would automatically change your things.
Well, you can. You can go in and hit a button, and it autofills everything to the best of what it thinks it should be. But again, like, if you're building a team in any RPG, like your RPG game, like you're building a team so like their traits like counter react to another person's traits. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
yeah,
like I'm gonna have 1 or 2 guys with the high health, and I want this person, or this person's gonna have daze, and this person's gonna then have break, and this person's gonna then have topple. So like, but no, it doesn't matter, because anytime I change one person, it screws everything up, because you're auto deleting
it resets it. Yeah.
So there's no
also,
point in taking your time.
Changing your arts is kind of, I don't like it, because it's very wordy. It's not easy to see which art is more powerful. And then when you're fighting, like if you're playing a game where it's just you as a character, right? And you hit somebody with a sword and you see the strength, and then maybe you tweak your character and you're like, ooh, I'm hitting for more. I know that this doubles the strength of my sword or whatever. All 6 of the characters are fighting and these numbers are flying on the screen. It's really hard to optimize your character and know that you've done so. It's just random. And so like you choose the classes of your characters. I was really into this because I thought this was taking the Bravely Default mechanics of jobs and putting it into Xenoblade. So I was excited for this.
Me too.
I find it thoroughly unexciting. For the most part, I keep my team with a couple of defenders, a few attackers, and a few healers, depending on what I do with my last hero. I like to have 2 healers and then the healer hero. But sometimes when I'm going around, there's weaker enemies. I'll put an attacking hero to speed those battles up. But whenever I fight a boss, I always have 3 healers.
Yeah, I think I had 3 healers, only 1 tank, and then 3 attackers.
3 attackers. I can understand switching. I could try that now with this one. But so there's that. The other problem that I have is if you do a character side story, like let's say Noah, you will unlock the level 10 cap of Sword Fighter, which is their starting class. So all you can unlock. So it goes from level 1 to level 10 for the default classes for all the characters. And if you do their side story, it unlocks it to level 20. I think as far as I know, that's it. It's just a one-time you can level up to 20.
I think I only did 2 or 3 of them.
Drew, why on earth would I ever use a different class if the character's own class is unlocked to 20? I'm using Lands right now. He is a defender. He will always be a defender. He'll always be his normal defender class because his level cap is 20. So I need to keep using him at that class so I can get to level 20, because you just assume that will be better for the final boss ultimately. So you're really restricting my classes because there's so many that I can switch to, but they're level 10. I don't get it.
I think this game had a lot of like great ideas. They just executed it so poorly. Do you know what I'm saying? Like even the menu itself, besides what we talked about, like I didn't mind the menu screen and stuff, but I thought it was stupid that you can't sort. Like I honestly think Xenoblade 2 did some of like their class, their character customizations better.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, there was less customization, but like if they just had a button that said optimize all characters, that would go a long way. Because like I said, I just died to a boss and 2 of my characters were missing stuff. So is that why I died? Now, so I put it in, but it's like, is that why I died? Like, and then you have to change so much of them and they're so boring. I don't know. It's boring. So right now I haven't changed my classes hardly at all. All of the characters that have their level 20 cap unlocked, they're locked into that one now. I'm never going to change them. It's just weird. And then you get new characters that have new capabilities, but really it's just healer, attacker, defender. I'm not really thinking too much. You are looking way too close to your camera and it's really creeping me out.
Well, John, that's because I have a huge announcement to make.
I know. That's right,
folks. The Star Wars Kyber Crystal bounty has been completed of 1,166 by no other than Ebicel.
Wow. That is incredible. 1166 out of 1,200.
Award that man $100.
We'll have to contact Justin. That's it.
Wow. I'm sorry. I did
another Lego game.
Two?
No, congratulations, Ebicel. I'm so glad we don't have to talk about it anymore.
Speaking of Lego games, really quick, you know what my son did today?
What's that?
He started a new save file for Lego Avengers.
Oh my god! Wait, Lego Avengers? You said?
Yeah, he already 100%ed it.
Why would you play that again? You should have had him try to get the Kyber bricks and say, no, you get all the Kyber bricks, and then you can talk about what you want.
Then you can buy Lego Brawls that comes out. Oh. Anyways, Xenoblade Chronicles. I'm so disappointed. This was like on my list of possible game of the year. Frankly, this is not in my top 5.
I agree. The spongy bosses.
I'm sad.
The spongy bosses are a big problem too. It's like, oh, you have another battle, and so many of the boss battles are like 3 different spongy bosses. So you think you have it won, right? You just go through a battle. It took you 5 to 10 minutes. It was just you hit them, and their health bar barely goes down. You go into a chain attack, which feels like it takes an hour, and their bar will go down a little bit more. And then you use your Ouroboros, and it really doesn't do that much either. And then you win, and you're like, thank God. And then it's like, oh no, there's another guy. And he also has this massive bar. It's like, it's not fun.
Just wait. Just keep playing. That's all I'm going to say.
I love doing side quests. Sometimes I'll sit down and go, I'm just going to do this side quest. Listen,
I agree. I think that was my favorite part of the game was exploring. Like I said, I was disappointed there was no major cities or anything like that. I guess you do get to that one like underground refuge city, but I don't know. At the end of the day,
what about the map too? The map is really weird. There's like an overhead map that has little areas that you can highlight, and then you click it, and all of the land is like these long. I want to say it's all hallways. They're like these long, thin stretches all around. It's not one big land that's connected and open. They definitely, you get to an area and then there's a loading screen to get to the next area. And it's like these little areas that you never have a sense for how they connect to each other.
Well, how many times have you got lost, like looking at the map, like how do I get there? Like because it doesn't do a good job at showing like the depth.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
And the tunnels and bridges, and it's like I know I need to get there, but I don't know how.
Correct.
And I get it, because could you follow the red line? I guess that's a nice perk, but it's going to take 20 minutes to run there.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's exactly it. It's I was doing something today where I was trying to do Noah's side story, and I originally was not going to use the little pathing indicator to tell you where to go. Now I never turn it off. And it was telling me to go through this door that wasn't open to get to this area. And I was going all around. How do I open this door? Going all around. And then I was like looking at the map, trying to figure out, I was like, can I come from the other way? But it's not even the same map. So you don't see how they connect to each other. It's not like you go, oh, it's up here and we're going down. And then it turns out that was the right way. But it's so hard to tell in the map. When I think back to Xenoblade 2, there were a lot of big, open, fat areas where there's like overlap and you can go around and explore. I swear to God, this whole game is just hallways and thin alleyways to slightly bigger areas, but it never really opens up. It's frustrating. There are lots of fun aspects to it. I like grinding. I like, looking for items on the floor and whatever, but you need these recipes to upgrade your gems, and nothing hints to you at all where you could find these things. It's just, you just go around, you pick up shit, you kill shit, and then you look and see if you maybe got it. Sometimes you can look at the names of it and it's a certain animal and you got your eyes peeled, but it's so bizarre.
I'm disappointed.
It doesn't connect together. Yeah, it doesn't.
I'd like people to maybe send us a voicemail next week on what are we not what are we
Dylan.
missing? What does this game have that maybe we're not talking about in the positive point of views, right? Like I said, there were some positives, but when I think back to Xenoblade 2 and even the what was the not the Golden Compass, the Golden whatever the hell it was. What was the DLC called?
Torna.
Torny's
the Golden Country, I think it's called.
I loved that.
Torna the Golden Country.
That was awesome.
It wasn't 60 hours.
What made this game good for you? Let's leave it at that. What did you like about this game? Because John and I are struggling.
I've seen people even on my Twitter timeline that say this is their game of the year. Fartsy is one of them.
Wow.
But yeah, I don't see it. Now, look, I'm 60 hours in. So when I say this game has me disappointed, it's not that bad. I'm playing it. I'm 60 hours in. I would have quit if I hated this game.
Agreed with you.
I think it's just us saying we're frustrated that these little basic things they didn't get right.
Well, but they're little basic things that would have made the game that much more enjoyable for me. That would have made me have wanted to explore more. That made me not want to, wouldn't like bother fighting the monsters so much or the bosses. Like it's those little things that if you fixed those, it would have made the rest of the game more enjoyable. Because I don't think I have anything wrong with the story. Was fine. I don't think it was like the best story. I think it kind of fell off, but it was still fine. The world was great. I had no problem exploring it. It was definitely the Xenoblade feel.
I love the feeling when you get to an area and it goes and it gives you experience points for finding it, which I think is really cool. You get some experience points. So it's like I not only found a new area, but I can also warp here and I got experience points.
But I just wish I had a better reason to explore than to find a canister or raise a guy from the dead just to get experience points or get a canister full of items that I didn't even go through because I couldn't sort them.
And completely random items you don't know if you need or not. There's no sense of it. It's just like, here's a canister of items. Maybe you'll get lucky and you can upgrade a gem, but you have no idea.
Yeah, I wish there was a way to say, like, I want to upgrade this gem. Show me something that I can do to go. Like, what area are they in? Like, show me, go kill monsters in this area and you might get them.
Horizon Forbidden West did that. If you had a recipe you wanted to finish, you could actually turn it into a quest and it will show you the areas you can find those items, which is great because don't tell me like getting it spoiled or having someone tell you ruins it. Everyone's just going online and saying, where can I find the marbled beef or whatever? And that's it. It's nice to have that in-game little quest area. You can see a zone where you might find it. At least give me a clue. It's just collecting items and hope for the best. All right.
Agreed.
All right. Well, I think that's the last time we'll talk about Xenoblade. I'm hoping are we both hoping we'll finish the game before the next episode?
I don't know.
You close to
less people.
I'm not finishing. I'm going to finish the game. There's nothing that will stop me.
Well, I want to tell you why I don't want to, but
okay.
Anyways,
don't you ruin.
John, what do we have coming up the next couple weeks?
There is a lot coming up over the next 2 weeks. Let me tell you. On August 30th, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Cowabunga Collection, dude.
That's not out yet?
It's the old retro games package. That's coming out August 30th.
Is this one of those games people want and then wish they didn't really need it after it comes out?
Well, I mean, I love the original NES game and all that, but
too.
Yeah, I never play the old games. Some people love them, but I usually I'm not into them. We talked about this earlier. Gerda, of Flame and Winter comes out September 1st. You're going to get a review on that morning. Ooblets comes out September 1st.
What's Ooblets?
They went into my wife's head and came up with the perfect game, and it is Ooblets. It's like very cutesy. You kind of trail them everywhere. You look at it. You've seen it before.
I'll look it up.
It came out a long time ago, but it wasn't on Nintendo, and it was very odd. It was like, how is this not on Switch? And they're fixing that up. September 2nd, of course, the game we're all waiting for, Lego Brawls.
My son probably is.
And then a little game called The Last of Us Part 1 comes out September 2nd. I am debating taking the day off of work for that, but I probably will. September 6th, the game that everybody thinks they're going to love and nobody will play it, Disney Dreamlight Valley.
Well, John, I have a surprise for you. I'm playing it.
You're not. You're going to be bored to death. Your kids are going to play it. Nick mentioned this morning that his kids are going to play it. But even Nick said, the more I watch it, the more I'm not interested in it. You are not going to play it past day one, Drew. I guarantee
it's free.
you.
It's free to play, isn't it?
It's just mobile garbage. You're going to design your character. I see people on my Twitter timeline. They've designed their character. They're all excited. Look, it looks like me. But nobody's going to play this game. It's just a mobile game. Guys, get your head back in the game. This is just mobile stuff.
When Speedstormers come out, whatever the hell it's called.
Not this week, but On September 6th also is Temtem, which is like a Pokemon-like that a lot of people are excited about. September 9th, of course, NBA 2K23.
Oh, speaking of that,
also,
is it PGA
of course,
23 coming out soon?
I don't know. That wouldn't go on my list. But Splatoon 3 also comes out September 9th. We're all going to play it. We're all going to enjoy it. Everyone's going to have a fucking good time with it. I don't care. Drew, you're playing it.
What am I playing?
It. By the way, Splatoon 3. By the way, quick story. I don't want my son to hear, but while you were gone, the Splatoon OLED models went on sale. I swear, Dylan texted me at 6 minutes past midnight. And I woke up the next morning and I was like, fuck, I missed it. But they lasted through the day. I think they're still available on Amazon. So they've made enough. And we bought 2 of them. So the funny part is one is for Cedric because he's using his own money. But we haven't told him that we got it because we said it was going to be really hard to get. But we're picking it up September 1st. So we're going to surprise him. The second one, I thought Michelle wanted, but now she doesn't even sure if she wants it. So actually, I don't even know which one of us is going to have that one. So we'll see.
Oh, John.
Drew. Oh, Drew. Well, we wanted this to be a shorter show because poor Drew was sick.
I survived. I'm going to go have some meatloaf. And I'm going to be home for the next week after just missing 2 weeks of work. I'll be here. Maybe we'll do a special podcast next weekend or during the week. Because what else am I going to do?
Oh, we got to do some special podcasts. One thing you can do is I'm seeing some brown shirts in your rainbow, and I think you could do some resorting on those colors back there.
Oh, right over here?
Yeah, there's some brown. I don't know.
The rainbow starts here. These are all polo shirts. This is just into the dressier shirt.
But you've got like a pink. I can't really tell because your camera's not coming in great. But
yes,
it's some. Yeah, they got some blues and some bright oranges, and then brown. I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I feel like it has to be.
I'll reorganize it. You know what it was? Amy doesn't respect the rainbow, so when she puts my shirts away, she puts them not in the right order, and I have to do it. And I always yell at her.
She does that because she's angry you're not helping her, so she's like oh, well, fuck this rainbow. She's gonna put black ones in between the yellow and green next time,
most likely. Futz with me. That's a wrap.
All right, let's say goodbye to the boys and girls.
Alrighty.
How many girls? We have one. Kevin's sister. Special hello, Kevin's sister.
Hello.
There we go.
Kevin's sister.
Angel, right? Angel. All right. Good night.
Good night.
The Dads After Dark show is part of the Nintendo Dads family of podcasts. You can subscribe to us anywhere podcasts are available, including iTunes, Castbox, Spotify, and Stitcher. Also, don't forget to leave us a 5-star review. Pretty please. Be sure to join us on the Nintendo Dads Discord in our Dads After Dark channels for some naughty After Dark talk. Follow us on Twitter at @NDadsAfterDark or email us at dadsafterdarkshow@gmail.com. And a big thank you to Family Jewels for our show's music. You rock. That's all for tonight. Good night, Dads. Sweet dreams.